we're here. The polls close in Montana in 17 minutes, and we're looking forward to covering this election for you and with you. So this election is the Montana special election, and we will get, so the polls close in 17 minutes, and when the results start coming in, I'll start showing them to you. And as an example, let me show you what we'll do here. Well, I'll show you what the kind of thing you'll be able to look at is, let's see. See, so, well, that's too high up. But we'll have some results for you there. See, it's all at 0 now because I haven't, no results have come in yet. But we'll have results for you. So as soon as they come in, we'll have them for you. So for now, though, we're going to spend a few minutes talking about this election and talking about this campaign in anticipation for the polls to close. And if you want to write in during this broadcast, by the way, we might be on for a little while depending on how the election goes. During this broadcast, if you'd like to write in, I'd love to hear from you. You can reach me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner, or you can email me at steve.lookner@rsbn.tv. Do either of those things, and I will read your comment on the air as long as it's clean. Speaking of which, I need to just adjust my Twitter here and get my feed up in front of me, so in case you write to me, I can actually read what you wrote. So again, apologize. I know a bunch of you were in the chat room waiting, and you were on time, and we got it. I got in here, and I got ready to go, and right before we were supposed to go on, it was just like crazy audio video problem time. Hey, by the way, we got a new background for tonight. Joe got this background for us, which I think is fantastic. It says like election capital and stuff. So I hope you enjoy the background. Let me know if you like it or not. Let's see. What do we got here? So I want to catch you up a little bit on what's going on. So for those of you who don't know, the people running in this election, they're on up there. You can see them up there. That's Gianforte, Greg Gianforte, and that's Rob Quist. He's the Republican, and he's the Democrat. He's the one who body slammed the reporter last night, and he is not. So let's just take a second and go over a little bit more about these people. So Greg Gianforte, aside from the body slam thing, he's the bald guy up there. He's a Republican. He was born in New Jersey, but he grew up in New Jersey, at least I know that. But he actually has been in Montana for 25 years. And he created a big tech company of some sort in Montana. I apologize, I don't remember what the exact company was. But they got very big there and hired a lot of people, and he's known as like a businessman. He's not a politician. By the way, Lars Anderson already made a donation of 55 Swedish krona. Thank you, Lars Anderson. That's very kind of you. We'll talk. I'll really quickly mention, we rely on your support to stay on the air, as a lot of you know. But if you're a first-time viewer, just know we do rely on your support to stay on the air. We can't stay on the air as an alternative to the mainstream media without you guys. So if you'd like to donate during the program, we'd be really thankful. You can go to rsbn.tv/donate. That's rsbn.tv/donate. Or do what Lars did. You can click on the $sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat room. For now, we'll talk about another way you can give later, but that's the basic two ways: rsbn.tv/donate, or click on the $sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat room. And thank you to the moderators for moderating the chat tonight. So anyways, Gianforte, he's the bald guy there. He's a Republican. He's not a politician, career politician. He's never been held elected office. He created a big business that hired a lot of people in Montana, and he's running for office now. And he's also the guy who last night, there was that incident, which I'm sure a lot of you people heard about. We did a big news story on it in case you want to watch our video. But he's the guy who, the reporter from the Guardian newspaper or magazine or online site, whatever it is, came in and started asking him questions about the health bill and whether he supports it or not, and the CBO scoring, and he got very mad very quickly and body slammed him, the reporter, and ended up getting a misdemeanor assault citation today. So, but he has not spoken publicly today, as far as I've heard. No public words from him today. So I guess the strategy is I'm just not going to say anything about it today and hope my lead holds. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it affects well, I don't know if we can conclusively say whether it'll affect the race. I think if he loses, that probably is because of the body slam. I mean, if it's a close race. But we'll have to wait and see. The polls, again, close in 12 minutes. And so starting 12 minutes from now, it might take there might be a little delay at 9 p.m. when the polls close, I've read, to get the actual votes to come in. So, and just so you know, just so you're not worried, you might be like, Steve, aren't the votes coming in yet? I'll show you. They're not. See, they're not coming in yet. It's all at 0. And what's cool actually is I like with this background. John PS30 gave us $20 and said Body Slam Maxine next. Body Slam Maxine next. So John, I appreciate the donation. That's really kind of you. RSBN does not connote violence against anyone. So I have to officially say that, but very much appreciate your donation. And thank you, John. Very cool of you. So John, that was John PS30. Thanks, John. So I was going to say another cool thing I like about this background is it spins. You can see it. It's spinning even when I'm in the small corner. It spins. But let's go full again. Okay, so that's a little bit. That's the very basic summary of Greg Gianforte. Now this guy is Rob Quist. Rob Quist is I don't think he's held elective office. Basically elected office. He is like I believe a lifetime Montana resident. Also, his main line of work is he's like a country singer, and he's a performer. And the weird thing is this, I don't have anything against performers. I will say the one time I watched a performance of him singing, it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, because I thought he's a career performer and I didn't really like it that much. But that just might be me. Anyways, but Rob Quist is there and he's running against Gianforte. And so Rob Quist in his campaign, he's really emphasized the health bill. He thinks a lot of people in Montana are unhappy with the proposed new American Health Care Act. And so he's trying to tie Gianforte to the new American Health Care Act and saying hey, if you vote for Gianforte, that's like a vote for this new health bill, and your pre-existing conditions aren't going to be covered and you're going to have worse health care. So he's really been hitting that a lot. Meanwhile, Gianforte has actually been the Republican has been embracing Trump. Trump and Pence both. Well, I know Trump did an appearance there for Gianforte. Pence went to Montana, and also Trump and Pence, I think, have been sending out emails on Gianforte's behalf, and a lot of other prominent Republicans like Ted Cruz have been involved in this. This race, there's only a few of these special elections because they only happen because people got called into the cabinet. So the special election in Georgia coming up is only happening because Tom Price from Georgia, the rep there, became Secretary of Health and Human Services. And this Montana election is only happening because Ryan Zinke, who was the rep there, got called to be the Secretary of the Interior. So there's only a few of these special races going on right now, and everybody's looking at them because people are is this a sign of what people think of Trump? Especially on the left, they're wow, if Quist can win, that shows people hate Trump, and we're going to take back the House and the Senate. So anyways, but there's a lot of interest, not just on the left, but on both sides, and who want to read into this election the general mood of the country regarding Trump. But I've also heard people say, hey, this is a local election. You shouldn't read too much into it. So I will leave it to you how much to read into the election results tonight in terms of what they represent about the nation at large. So we've talked a little bit about Gianforte. We've talked a little bit about Quist. They're running. There's a third candidate who's a libertarian candidate who's not supposed to get many votes. But I guess he could siphon some off. That's Mark Wicks, you can see right there. I guess Mark Wicks could siphon, in theory, some votes off from Gianforte. But that's been it's not like he just started running. So in all the projections I've seen that originally had Gianforte slightly ahead or somewhat ahead, before at least the body slam last night, the Mark Wicks thing was factored into that. So before last night and before the body slam, I think it would have been an upset if Quist won. I think it still might be somewhat of an upset, especially because, in Montana, more than half of the ballots have been submitted already by mail. So voting by mail is very big there, and you can't change your vote once you voted by mail. And I have read that more than half of the expected votes have been submitted by mail already. So that restricts how much last night's incident can actually change the election. It could change it some. Okay, so I want to just see if anybody sent me any messages so far. Jeffrey Williams says, hey, Steve, do you think the little episode yesterday with the reporter will make a difference in the election? It's really hard to say. I don't live in Montana. The one thing I'll say is this. It's the question is not, does it bother people who don't like Republicans and don't like Trump? The question more is, will it, so here's the thing. You might say, well, it could help Quist because it motivates his base more. But I think if people were going to vote for Quist, and if people were going to vote for Quist because they hate Trump, they were pretty motivated already. I don't think that incident will necessarily make more anti-Trump people go vote for Quist. And, there's this question, though, does it prevent, say, independents or people who are, like, somewhat supportive of Gianforte? Do some of them not go vote now? Or do some of them not go vote, but some of them actually do go vote? Do some people, is there anybody out there who wasn't going to vote, but now is like, hey, I like this guy. That guy's like a take charge kind of guy. I'm going to go vote for him. So it's hard. I mean, I guess my gut feeling is I don't know if it'll affect things a lot, but it's so hard to say. It's such a hard question. I can imagine lots of different scenarios there. But, I did see a number of interviews, and this is just anecdotal evidence, but some different journalists like Michael Tracy were in Montana today, and they were reporting that they spoke to people coming out of the polls, and those people said it didn't change their vote. Now, maybe they didn't. Maybe the people whose vote were changed don't want to say that. Votes were changed, don't want to say that. So it's really hard to say. So it's a good question. Don't know. Let's see here. Again, if you want to write in, I'm happy to take your comments or questions. The polls are closing in 6 minutes in Montana, and we're going to have the results as soon as they start coming in for you. The Darbear Dossier writes in, do you really think that a man who assaults a member of the press should be in office? Where are the free speech warriors? So are you asking me what I personally think? Well, I try to keep my, I don't like to get too much into my personal opinions on this. I will say this. I can see somebody making an argument and understand why someone would think that incident last night is disqualifying. Okay, I can see that. But at the same time, I can understand somebody who says, look, I like him better than Quist. I think it's better to have a Republican there. I don't like what he did last night, but it's not enough to make me switch my vote. I think the guy will be able to control himself. So, I can see things on both sides, and it's unfortunate that happened. I certainly don't think it's good that happened. I certainly think that somebody hopefully who's in office has some degree of self-control and non-violence in them. But another thing is you don't know the history of what happened. And believe me, I'm not defending it. I don't condone violence. I certainly don't believe that he should have violently attacked somebody who wasn't physically threatening him. But at the same time, in terms of whether that disqualifies him from office, I think it'd be good to know a little bit more about the actual circumstances. Maybe some reporters had been coming in a really annoying way and interrupting interviews and stuff, and been doing something to annoy him, and I don't know the backstory. Not that justifies the violence, but I'm just asking the question about, do you think it's a disqualifying incident? And so, I hate to rush to judgment and say, based on one thing the person did, I mean, if he shot somebody and killed somebody, that's different. But, based on this one thing, he definitely shouldn't be in office. But I can see the argument for that. So it's a good question. Tech Warriors writes in, he body slammed a reporter. I'm sure that makes him more likely to win Montana. Great background. Oh, you like the background. Thank Tech Warriors. Well, maybe it does make it more likely. I mean, some people there might like it. Let's see. Patriot writes in, which is worse? Patriot writes in, which is worse? Sorry, I'm just going to clean something up. Which is worse? The media covering up by not covering the Obama administration spying on Americans, or media using Russia to distract, using FN Russia. What's FN Russia, Patriot? I can't figure it out. So you want the media to both cover the Obama administration spying more on Americans more, or them not using Russia to distract. So I can certainly understand the complaints on both those ends. I will say on the Obama thing, though, I read this. Let me go back. I can understand the Russia complaint very well about that being a distraction. In terms of the Obama spying thing, I don't know, Tech Warriors, if you're talking about the story that came out today about the NSA spy. I read a story today about some NSA spying that might have been going on. That NSA, might have been looking at Americans' data and Americans' communications when they weren't supposed to. But I need to look more on that. When I started reading the story, it was kind of complex, and I got some details on it, but I can't speak very intelligently on that specific story, if that's the one you're asking about. Let's see here. I think I have some time check. 2 minutes till the polls close. Now, just a heads up. From what I understand, it'll take a little bit for votes to come in after the polls close. Hold on a second. I want to do something here. Let me just show you what I got here. So there's that. So we're going to be watching that, okay? So I'll have votes for you when they come in. Let me check something else here. Sorry. I also want to really just check see if there's any kind of news updates here. Okay, so I do see now the New York Times is saying they're aiming for 10:25 Eastern for the first results. So I don't know why it takes so long exactly for the results to come in, but again, so the polls are closing in 1 minute, and we will have a big shout when the polls close. But don't expect results right away. Oh, I want to show you a tweet from Rob Quist if I can. So this is from Rob Quist, who just sent this out. He's the Democrat. And hold on a second. See, Rob Quist says, if you're in line at your polling location, you can still vote. Stay in line. And he just twists that out. He sent that out. And I'll just show you. He has a big stay in line thing up here. Hold on, let me show you that. See, stay in line. So that's from Rob Quist. He's the Democrat. He sent that out. Okay. Guys, in just seconds, the polls are going to be closed. But Rob Quist does say stay in line. I'm just waiting to see when the polls close, because I want to say something as soon as it happens. The polls have closed. It is 10 p.m. Eastern time. The polls are officially closed in Montana. So in some amount of time, soon, I think, we will be getting some results from Montana. For now, I'm going to stick this on the screen. Oop, no, that's not what I want to stick on the screen. Here, this is what I want to stick on the screen. There you go. Hold on, it'll come up in a sec, folks. Sorry about that. I didn't want a Stephen Dennis Healthcare tweet on the screen. There you go. So it's at 0 right now. Okay, let me see. Some of you wrote in some messages here. I think. Let's see. Amanda Maccabee said, "Hi, Steve. My question is, who won the election? God bless you. You're doing an amazing job." No one knows who won yet. Amanda, watch this broadcast. If you're watching, we're waiting for the results right now. Whoa, what just happened? Sorry, I screwed something up again. All right. I'm getting under control here, guys. I'm going to fix things. Couple little mistakes. There's a lot to do, but sorry about that. All right, let's try this. Let's try this again. This is from the moderator Common Sense. And moderator Common Sense writes in, "Hello, Steve. I mailed the check today for $140 towards a new monitor. I challenged the other moderators to donate $5 each or more to come up with the other $50 needed to purchase it. So we're buying a new monitor for our studio. It's $190, and really nicely, Common Sense is giving us $140. We were just going to cover the rest ourselves, but Common Sense has challenged you. But that's up to you guys. That's between. I don't like to get in between moderator business, so that's between you mods. But I really do appreciate Common Sense's donation, and we'll Common Sense, when we get that monitor, we'll take a photo of it and post it on Twitter and whatever, and give you a shout out. So thank you. Once again, real quick, we are Right Side Broadcasting. We are entirely viewer supported. Well, entirely except for some ad money on YouTube, but the vast majority of our budget is viewer money. That you let us stay on the air, and so we can give you an alternative, so you don't have to watch like MSNBC or CNN Tonight or whatever. And I don't think, are they covering this live the whole night? I'm clicking on my TV to see. I bet they're not, though. I bet they're not doing, I think they're going to do, well, maybe they're going to. Let's see. I'm just going to check here. But we're going to cover it the whole time. They'll probably, I'm guessing that what'll happen is, what'll happen is they'll come on the air now, MSNBC and CNN, and talk about it, but then they'll go back and forth between this and that Jared Kushner story, which I think is a non-story, and talk about Russia a lot. Whereas we're not going to talk about Russia all here. We're talking about the election. Anyways, if you like having an alternative to the mainstream media, hope you consider donating, because we rely on you for your support. Oh, and your support will help us go to the Donald Trump rally. President Trump is having a rally next Thursday in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. We will be there. I will be there. Liz Willis will be there. Maggie might be there. Hopefully she's there. So we're going to cover it. We're going to show you all the speeches and all of, we're going to interview people for hours beforehand from the rally and show you the sights and sounds of the rally. So if you like that we do that kind of thing and you want us to stay on the air and cover more, please consider donating. You can go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. Or you can donate in the YouTube chat room right now by clicking on the $ at the bottom of the chat room. Also, if you want to get cool right side stuff in exchange for donating, check out our site where you can make a monthly donation and get right side stuff in return. Free stuff, www.patreon.com/rsbn. All right, let's see now. Let's go back to me for a second. I want to see if there's any news updates, and then I want to get some more of your messages. Again, would love to hear your comments and your questions tonight as we're covering this. I think we'll be on for a little while tonight. So write to me at @Lookner on Twitter, @LOOKNER, or shoot me an email. The address is on your screen there. I'm just peeking. When I look over here, that's because I'm peeking at my news updates and seeing if there's anything new to show you. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, this is interesting. Hold on. I'm trying to also find the best results. No, that results page is the one I'm going to stick with. Okay. All right. I see some people send in some comments. Let me read them. Richard P. says, on Fox, Navy SEAL Rob O'Neill calls Ben Jacobs a snowflake reporter, and he thinks the body slam was kind of funny. Thanks, Richard, for the update. The Rag Daily writes in, oh, James Wolfe just gave $10. Thank you so much, James Wolfe. That's very kind of you. Really appreciate it. That money will help us go to the President Trump rally next week and cover it for you. If you've never seen our rally coverage, we cover it like it's like a whole day thing. We start like 4 hours before the rally. We interview all the people in line, not all of them, but a lot of people in line, and then we go inside and interview people inside, and then we show the whole rally, all the speakers, and then we interview people after the rally. It's really fun. I'm really looking forward to it. So thank you to James Wolfe. So anyways, the Rag Daily writes in, where was the reporter going in a mosque and shoving a microphone into Where was the reporter going into a mosque and shoving a microphone into an imam's face after the bombing? No guts. So Rag Daily, you don't feel like the reporter's coverage of recent news events is balanced. The Rag Daily also says you can give a guitar and a cowboy hat to a commie, and he is still a commie. So, Rag, you are not a fan of Rob Quist. Stanley McMahon says, Steve, if Obama would listen in on Chancellor Merkel, which is fact, is it not safe to say regular Americans also were? Stanley, I am not in the intelligence community, so unfortunately I cannot speak to this. I understand your question, though, you know, there was this report today that said the NSA under Obama might have been taking too much information from Americans in trying to sweep up foreign conversations with foreigners or foreigners' conversations in America. They might have taken up American domestic conversations, but I don't know all the details of that again. So, but I appreciate you writing in, Stanley. Another message here. This is from Word Guy. Word Guy says, that little Gianforte scuffle did do one thing. Now how many people had never heard of him before? Now he's a dinner table topic of conversation nationwide. Interesting point, Word Guy. Do you think if he wins, like, you might think, well, no one's going to respect him at all because he had that fight. But is he now kind of famous? So if he wins, it like helps him? Timothy McBride writes in, hey, Lookner, watching from St. Louis, Missouri. I used to live in St. Louis. I lived in Clayton, Missouri for half a year. Question, hear that most Montana voters voted early, maybe over 70%, so hard for Quist to win. I would like to get, hold on, so I heard it was over half. Maybe, I'm not sure about the exact amount, but supposedly a lot of the votes there, at least over half, maybe more like you said, are early votes. So that might make it tough for Quist to win if Quist was relying on the fight to help him to win. I'm rushing a bit because I got a vote total to give you here. Hold on. This is early. So these are very, very early. Let's see here. Let me keep this. Hold on. Something is going on with this stream here. I want to just fix something. Before I talk about that, guys, I need to fix something real quick here and make sure something is working right. Okay. That's working right. Oh, and Lars Anderson just gave 55 Swedish kroner again and says, Trump rally when, MAGA. Lars, thank you for your donation. That's awesome of you. It's your second donation tonight. Amazing. But the rally is June 1st. It's next Thursday. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern time in Iowa, and we'll be covering it. Okay, Kathy Best tweets out, early Montana returns from liberal Missouri County, Quist 19,000, Gianforte 10,000. This is from liberal Missoula County. I believe Missoula is the place where University of Montana is. Let me look this up real quick and just make sure. But it's a very liberal place for Montana. Oh, and Laurel Catherine Pauline just gave $10. Thank you so much, Laurel Catherine Pauline. That will also help us cover the President Trump rally. That's really kind of you. It's a bit of a travel expense to get there because it's in Iowa, which is kind of far away from Alabama where we're located. So thank you, Laurel, very much. Missoula, I'm looking up. University of Montana is in Missouri, so it's a very liberal part of. Is in Missoula. So the Missoula County is a liberal part of Montana, and Quist is hoping to do well there. All right, let me go back to me for a second and see if there's some other stuff I can show you. That was a little early results. Hold on a second. I have some results in here. Hold on. There we go. So we have these are. All right, this is 8% reporting in. Now, I don't know where these votes are from. Oh, I can tell you where some of them are from in a second, actually. But I don't know if they're like what part. So here, I'll show you the map. So this is Gianforte leading with 8% in. But let's look at the map here. I'll show you the map. Ready? I'm going to pull the map up here so you can see it. Hold on, folks. Okay. So Billings, that's the most populous. Is Billings the most populous city? I'm forgetting. I'm not an expert on Montana, but it's one of the big places there. One of the big. Billings is one of the big towns, and I don't know if Yellowstone's the most populous county though. Anyways, you can see Gianforte's winning in Billings and Yellowstone County. In this county, Lewis and Clark, it's kind of close. And in Deer Lodge County, Quist is up. So. Again, because I'm not an expert on Montana, I can't really interpret on Montana elections. I can't really interpret these results for you. But let me go back here, and let's see. This is sort of interesting. Can I interpret this for you? So this is interesting here. It says these are the counties. Oops, I'm covering it. Let's see if that's better. So this tells you what's going on in the different counties and how it compared to Trump versus Clinton. So on this top line here, on the top line we see Yellowstone County, and that went 58-31 for Trump, but Gianforte's holding well. So Trump won Montana by 20%. So if Gianforte does as well as Trump does, he'll have a good night. So let's see here. In Yellowstone County, it's very early. It's early, but we have Gianforte doing pretty much as well as Trump did. A little worse, but fairly well. In Lewis and Clark, so that's where Quist is winning by 10 in Lewis and Clark County, whereas Trump won by 6 or 7. Now, I don't know if that's enough to reverse, because remember, Trump won by 20 points. Sorry, I might have been saying something confusing there. So, but I don't know if Quist does say 17 points better than Hillary Clinton did, that's not enough for Quist to win. He's got to do 20 points better than Hillary Clinton did. And finally, in Deer Lodge, at least what's in so far, that was Trump only lost by 7, but Quist is winning by 32 in Deer Lodge. So that's the results so far. Let me go back up here. All right, so that's what we have in so far. I'll let you know when that updates. That's updating live, and I'll let you know when I see more from that. Sorry. Oops. That's better. And let me search a little something else here. Let me go back to me for a second, guys. And 11% in. 11% in now. Gianforte is up by 2.6% with 11% in. But again, the big question is where are these votes coming from and what are the outstanding votes? So let me see if I can get you a little news. So hold on one second here, folks. I'm just calling I'm going to leave that on the screen right now, and I'm calling something else up on my other computer. So bear with the silence while I do this. Sorry guys, just going to call up. There's one web page I want to get up here to give me a little news. Okay. Here's a little news that I'm going to show you. So let me go back to me. Sorry, I'm going to go back to me for a second because there's something I want to show you here. So I'm going to show you a message from the Reddit Live has a cool stream. Reddit Live Montana at Large special election. I'll actually show you that. So I'm at Reddit Live right now, and what you can see, it says Montana at Large special election, and so that's a place where I'm getting some helpful updates. But if you see where it says we're going to see an initial lead for Gianforte that will definitely be larger than what he ends up with. The question is, will day of votes bring him below 50%? What I think might be happening here is this. I think a lot of times when there's mail-in votes, you see those first. And Quist, the Democrat's supposed to do better with the mail-in votes, and Gianforte is supposed to do better. Sorry, this is a little distracting. Let me go to this and I'll come back to that. I'll go back to that. But just real quick, there it goes. Real quick, if they're counting the mail-in votes first, which they very often do in elections like this, then you're going to get more Quist votes first because Quist is supposed to do better among mail-in votes. The idea is that I read something that said Quist would actually be leading among the mail-in votes, and then the strategy, the Gianforte campaign was, the prediction was that the Gianforte campaign would ultimately win based on a better performance on the day of the election. So we just saw the Reddit stream. They say you should expect to see Quist starting to lead maybe at the beginning, just because of these. If I presume because the mail-in votes would be counted first. I'm presuming that. Okay, let me see what else is out there. And I apologize if you're sending in comments. I might not get to them right away because I'm trying to get you the latest up-to-date vote totals, so I don't want to interrupt that. So I will get to the comments as soon as I can. And once again, I hope you consider donating if you're enjoying our coverage tonight, because we rely on you to stay on the air here at Right Side Broadcasting. We couldn't stay on the air without your support. We're largely viewer supported. So if you want to donate, very easy. You can go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate, or you can go into our chat room on YouTube, which is active right now, right next to the broadcast, and click on the $ at the bottom of the chat room. Your donation will also help us cover the President Trump rally next week in Iowa. Also on Facebook, hello to everybody watching there. Please share our video if you can, because when you share our video, it gets the word out about Right Side. And also, if you're on YouTube, please like our video. We love when you like our videos. That actually helps us get more viewers. If we get more likes, then YouTube tells more people about our video. Okay. So the votes have updated. All right. So now we're seeing what was predicted in this sense. We had heard before that you might expect to see Rob Quist, the Democrat, that was not intentional, the Democrat up early because they count the early, it's possible, from what I can understand, they're counting the mail-in ballots earlier. So if that's happening, then you can expect to see Rob Quist winning. The question is, when we get the day of votes coming in, what will happen with those? And I read it might take a while to get some of the day of votes, especially some of the day of votes, especially because in the rural areas, those are areas which would support Gianforte more. Those especially can take a while to come in. So we'll just keep an eye on this. I want to see if there's any other updates I can give you. Okay, I'm going to show you this. I got a little tweet here that I want to show you. I'm trying to give you updates. Ooh, I wonder if... Can I do this? I'm going to try something here. All right, this might get really weird for 2 seconds. But let me try this and see. Hold on, folks. Hold on. I know that looks weird. There's a reason I am doing what I'm doing right now. No, that's not going to work. All right, that was not the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. All right, hold on for 1 second. I'm going to get you something right now that I want to show you. This is a tweet from Ryan. This is from Ryan Stroik. Ryan Stroik says, very early results in Montana look good for Gianforte. He's plus 20 in Yellowstone early vote, only down 10 in Lewis and Clark, 33 in Deer Lodge. So according to Ryan Stroik, let's see who Ryan Stroik is. He covers politics for ABC. So, and you'll see that pop up on your screen in a second. So Ryan Stroik says that the early votes look good for Gianforte, who is the Republican. We'll see if he's right. Let's go back and see the vote totals now. Let's get those up there for you. So that's those are the votes so far. Quist ahead by 1%, 19% in. I'm gonna go down to the map for a second and look at the map here. So there's that map. Let me call it up here. So you can see different areas. Missoula, that's a liberal area. Rob Quist is up there. Hold on, you'll be able to see it in a second. And by the way, if you want to follow this map, you can always go. It's at the New York Times page, so you can open that up in a window and check it out. And then we have Great Falls. And then we have Billings. I saw Yellowstone County. So these are the different counties. I'm just showing you these. But I'm going to go back up to the vote totals for now. Maybe I can get some more actual expert analysis that I can show you of this. Okay, hold on a second. I'm just looking over here. See if there's new information here. Okay, let me take a second to take some of your comments because I hadn't had a chance. Jude writes in, RSBN moderator, just want you to know you are doing an excellent job doing everything yourself. Thank you for everything you do. You're welcome, Jude. Thank you for moderating. Thank you to all the moderators, and thank you for saying thank you. I will say Jake Seals, as usual, has been a big help with the production. I was having some issues before, and Jake really helped me fix them. So Jake's always so helpful. And Joe, of course, is always helpful because he runs the network. So we wouldn't be here without Joe. Let's see here. Analytical Political writes in, so Trump threatens the media and Gianforte physically attacks a journalist. Guess the GOP aren't big on a free press. Well, I will say, just what somebody might say if President Trump was in the room, he might say, or somebody who thinks the GOP does support free press, they might say, well, look, you shouldn't think that everyone is like Gianforte and everybody's physically attacking the press. And many Republicans, I think, disapprove of Gianforte's violence. And also in terms of President Trump's attacks on the press, I mean, he might say, look, I'm attacking specific things they do. I'm attacking when they're biased. I'm attacking when they do leaks that are intended to hurt one side. I attack them when they don't cover things fairly. But, he's not... that's different than saying I don't think there should be a free press. And now maybe some people would say when President Trump attacks the press, they interpret that as attacking a free press. But I think it's certainly legitimate for people, just because you complain that the press is covering things in a biased way, an unfair way, doesn't mean you don't think there should be free press. I mean, you can have one without the other. So, but I understand your comment, Analytical Political. I appreciate you writing in. 404 Sec writes in, us at Neat Uprising channel are watching. We think we should get slam fake news trending. Help us out? Well, maybe some people will do that. All right. 19% reporting, as you can see on your screen. Quist is up by 1%. Let's see if I can get you some more analysis here. I see something here. Give me 1 second, folks. I'm going to go to me because I want to look something up. Hold on, I'm looking something up for you. I'll have you some more vote totals in a moment, but there's something I might want to show you, but I just want to make sure here. So give me 1 second, please. Okay, I'm going to show you right here. Let me show you this. So first off, look at the tweet at the bottom. That's from Dave Wasserman. He writes on elections. He's like an elections expert. And Dave Wasserman says, Gianforte leads 56-37 in Yellowstone County Billings with 48,000 votes there tallied. Man, that's a big hole for Quist to dig out of. And then Stephen Olemacher says, it's a huge hole, and if it holds, Quist loses. Right now, in absentee votes in other counties, Quist more than makes up the votes. Stay tuned. So we will see what happens. But Dave Wasserman, who knows a lot about elections, suggests that the signs from Yellowstone County look good for Gianforte. Let's go back to the numbers. Still 19% in. Maybe this is when things slow up, you know, because I've heard that it can take a while to count votes there. And we started, you know, like the New York Times is saying we won't get results until 10:25, and we already have a bunch of these numbers in at 10:24. But at the same time, you know, maybe these are like the mail-in ballots that were counted quickly, and so things might slow up a bit here. We'll keep an eye on it. Please write to me if you'd write. Like, I am at Lookner on Twitter, at LOOKNER, or you can email me. My addresses are on the screen right now. I'm going to take a second and see if there's anything else, any other comments from you guys. Let's see. Lucas says, hi, Steve. I watched on the OAN news that when Trump returns, he's going to fire people on his staff as he has zeroed in on leaders in the White House. Have you heard anything new regarding the great state of Massachusetts, where I was born and grew up? Thanks, Lucas, for the question. I have heard nothing new on this. I've been hearing, you know, you hear rumors about this, but I literally have heard nothing new about this, so I have no idea if it's true or not. Thank you, Luke, for writing in. Mark writes in, Mark Serenidis writes in, body slamming the journalist equals resume enhancement. So you just did not make you like Gianforte less. It appears it made you like him more. Thank you, Mark, for writing in. Lucy Overstreet says, Steve, you're doing such a good job. Thank you, Lucy. I'm so thankful for RSBN. Thank you for being a true journalist. Lucy in Tennessee. Thank you, Lucy, and thank you for watching. Some more messages here. Oh, Norway, thank you. Norway tweeted out the coverage. He tweeted out a link to this coverage. Thank you, Norway. Good seeing you again, Norway. And also, thank you to everybody who's let their friends know about this video, who shared it on Facebook. That's a big help to us. You know, we don't have extra money to advertise. We put our money into staying on the air. So a really big thing that helps us is you letting people know about us, because we really rely on word of mouth to get the word out about us. So if you can tell a friend about us or share a video, that's a big help to us. Okay, let's check these numbers. 20% in now. Quist a slight lead over Gianforte. And I'm trying, because I'm not an expert in analyzing where these votes are coming in from and stuff, I'm trying to get you other analysis. Okay, here is something I'm going to show you. Give me 1 second. Oops. Sorry, let me fix that. Hold on, everything's under control. Okay, I'm going to show you a tweet from, this is from Nate Kahn. He covers elections for the New York Times. I'll show you a tweet from him. Nate Kahn says, for one, Quist is doing worse in the early vote than I would have guessed. So I guess the vote that's coming in so far is the early vote, and that was where Quist was supposed to be ahead. And Nate Kahn from the New York Times is saying Quist is doing worse in the early vote than he would have guessed. Let's go back to those votes. Okay, all right. So this is in here. From what I can tell, folks, hold on a second. From what I can tell, I just saw a post which suggests that that these votes here are the early votes, and that now we're going to start to see some of the today's votes come in. So that's what the information I'm getting here. So now we have 20. You're going to see in a second. We're going to jump up to 21% reporting in a second. Hold on. Let me show you. I have another. So much going on here. All right, hold on. I want to show you another tweet that I just saw. I'm coming back to me. Oh, a teachable woman gives $10 donation. Thank you, a teachable woman. And she says, RSBN is the best. Mods, Steve, Jacob, Joe, and the awesome people on the web chat. You are loved. Thank you so much, a teachable woman. Really appreciate it. Those donations help us stay on the air, help us give you this coverage tonight, help us cover the Trump rally next week. So really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to come back to me here, and I'm going to show you something else which I just saw, which I want to show you. Here's one tweet to show you. This is from Dave Wasserman. Oops, it's coming up really quick right now. A little bit of a delay. Quist up 62 to 29 in Deer Lodge, where Bullock won, and I guess Bullock is the governor of Montana. Let me make sure about that. Yeah, Bullock is the governor of Montana. So anyways, but Dave Wasserman says, not looking like a good night for Democrats here. So maybe Quist isn't doing that well tonight. Let's see. Hold on a second. Come back to me for 1 second. I want to show you another one too. Where was that one? Where was it? Here it is. Hold on. I'm going to show you this one. Dave Wasserman also says, so far Quist isn't running close to where he needs to be to beat Gianforte, but he'd better hope election day votes, today's votes, are more favorable. So it looks like the analysts are saying that in the votes that's come in so far, which are the early votes, are the votes by mail, Quist is not doing as well as he needs to be doing. And that's where he needed to really get a lot of votes, supposedly, for him to win. Now, we'll see. There was that incident last night with the body slam. Maybe that could have affected the vote today. But if it looks like if Gianforte does as well as expected in today's vote, then he'll win the election tonight. There's an interesting question, too, which is what happens? We've been hearing it's almost like all the media coverage has been like, well, how close will it be? Maybe there'll be an upset, but it could even be close. But what if Gianforte just wins by a lot? Is the media going to say, oh, I guess people love what Trump is doing? Are they going to adopt that narrative? Because if this is a really close election or Quist wins, a lot of the media is going to say that just shows the country's not happy with Trump. But will they, if Gianforte wins by a lot, are they going to say, well, that shows the country is happy with President Trump? I don't know if they will. We'll see. Let's go back here. Oops, sorry. I'm giving you the election votes. Okay, I'm going to be silent for about a minute here. I need to take about a 1 minute break. And I'm going to come back. I'm going to get a little more water. But I'm going to leave it on the election results. So don't go anywhere. I'm going to leave the stream up. You can see the live election results. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. Oh, and before I go away, ThistleTube just gave $20 and said, new to your coverage, but looking to watch you more. That's very nice of you, ThistleTube. Really appreciate the donation. Very generous of you. And your donation will help us do more coverage for you. So really appreciate it. Thank you, ThistleTube. Okay, now I'm going to take a quick break. You won't hear me. I'll leave the results up, and I'll be right back. Sorry. The mic wasn't on. Okay, I'm back now. Sorry about the mic. I know the sound wasn't working for a second. Okay, Gianforte has taken the lead with 22% reporting. Gianforte is now up, and this, from what I can understand, this is not a good sign for Rob Quist, because Rob Quist, oops, we're getting a little, sorry, I'm having a little issue with the green screen back there. Is that working? Ooh, I want to fix that. I think we're going to be okay. So I apologize if when I go to full screen you see some fuzziness. Oh, okay. Oh, and hold on a second here. All right, so that's good. All right, so Gianforte is now taking the lead. And by the way, I'm just getting a couple texts here, and I just want to make sure everything is... hello to Ben, by the way. Hello to Ben Seals. Don't stay up too late. Okay, and we got a donation here. Let me mention that. NY Cookie gave us $10. That's really kind of you, and she said thank you for hosting these events. We love doing it. We love doing it for you guys. So thank you for watching. We do this for you. That's why we do this. And if you do like our coverage and you're looking forward to our coverage of the Trump rally next week, please consider donating, because we rely on your support to stay on the air. We can't stay on the air without you. Go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate, or you can do what NY Cookie just did and go to the YouTube chat next to the broadcast and just click the $sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat. You can donate that way. Thank you to the moderators, by the way, for moderating this for the chat tonight. Appreciate it. Okay, now I want to get a little more of election news here. All right, so 22% are in. From what I understand, the votes that were in so far were either mostly or all votes by mail, early votes, and those were supposed to be the votes that Quist was winning on, would get his lead on. But Quist wasn't doing as well as some people thought he would do on the early voting, which is not a great sign for Quist. Now maybe he'll make some up because of the incident last night. I don't know. We'll see. Let me check some things here. Let me check a few things. Okay, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you something, a tweet here. Hold on. Let me do this. Okay, another positive sign, it looks like, for Gianforte. I'll show you right now. This is from Steve Kornacki. He's on MSNBC. You can maybe see, if you ever watch MSNBC, I know some of you might not, but he does the election coverage there. He says, good news for Gianforte. Eastern Montana, rural and overwhelmingly Republican, not reporting yet. Hope for Quist, same-day surge in Missoula. Missoula is where Montana is, and that's a very liberal part of Montana. So, but, we don't have, sorry, I'm going to show you. Without Eastern Montana, which is rural, reporting, we have Gianforte, you're going to see in a second. He's already up by 0.4 percentage points, and we don't even have, if we can see the map, I guess what is being talked about is, I'm going to show you the map a little more. Sorry. So in the east, oh, and by the way, we just got a nice donation from Bradley M. Bradley M gave us $10. Thank you so much, Bradley M. I really appreciate it. That'll go to doing more coverage like this, doing the Trump rally next week. So really appreciate it. Thank you, Bradley M. So you can, I guess what's being discussed is that on the right side there, a lot of that part is empty, and that right side of the state, the eastern side, is supposedly a rural part, which is going to be favorable to Gianforte, and a lot of that is not in yet. Let me get these votes back on the screen here. All right, let me keep checking a few other things for you. 22% of the votes are in. Gianforte is winning, which a number of people have said is a good sign for Gianforte. And Frank Luntz also says, let me show you what Frank Luntz says in a second. He works at Fox. Oops. Oh man, so Sorry, I didn't mean to. Normally, what I do is when I'm calling up a tweet, I put myself there so you don't have to watch me searching around the web. That was my fault. So what I meant to do is cut to me and then say, "Hey, look at what Frank Luntz says. Look." And that's better. Frank Luntz says it is now tied. It is now tied, and actually it's more than Gianforte is leading by a little bit, with the rural counties, i.e. traditionally Republicans, still to be counted. So what it really looks like is happening is that we haven't got the votes in from the rural parts of Montana, and those are going to go for Gianforte. So these are not good signs for Rob Quist. I'm going to get to some of your messages really quick here. Norway writes in, kudos, Steve. Great coverage of the Montana election. There really are just two great news journalists in America, you and Sean Hannity. I think there's more than that, and I wouldn't say I'm great. I think Sean Hannity is much better than me. But I appreciate it, Norway. Thank you, and thank you for watching. Let's see. The Honest Patriot writes in, and Gianforte has taken the lead, not looking good at all for Quist. Sorry, I think there's some other messages here. I want to get to them. But I'll get back to the election results really soon. Well, it slowed up a little bit on the election results, as was anticipated. So while it's a little slow on the election results, let me get to some more of your messages here. Cindy Hoffman says, President Trump is coming to my state, Iowa, next Thursday. Are you going to be there, Lookner? Yes. We are going to have a huge group of front row Joes in line at 4 a.m. Oh, so Cindy, make sure we'll be there as we always are for the Trump rallies. We cover all of them. We're going to go. We're going to interview people in line. We're going to interview people at the front of the line. We always do that. Those are normally our first interviews of the day, starting several hours before the rally even starts. So Cindy, definitely find us. You can't miss us. We'll be wearing our right side gear. Liz and I are definitely going to be there. I hope Maggie will be able to be there too. So find us, Cindy, and we will interview you. Anybody else who's going to the Iowa rally, please come and say hi to us, and we're happy to interview you on the air. Jeffrey Williams says, hey, Steve, have you followed President Trump's first foreign visit? He has been very impressive, very presidential, and the leader that we elected, ... So I think you're going to, and the leader that we elected. So yes, Jeffrey, I have been following it, and I've been tweeting about it a little bit. I did say that I thought the speech in Saudi Arabia, he looked more presidential than he had at any time during his campaign, content of the speech aside. So I do think the speech has been good for, the trip has been good for him. And I've heard like even Democrats like Maggie Haberman, who from the New York Times, who absolutely hates Donald Trump, says that she thinks that as for example, that the trip has been good for him too. So thanks for the question. And we just got a donation here I want to give a shout out to. Oops, sorry, you're going to see a little mess on your screen in a second. This is from Tia Marie, gave $10. Thank you, Tia Marie. By the way, if you give a donation in the YouTube chat, at the bottom of the chat, there's a $sign. You give a donation that way. Not only can I see it and thank you, but you can write a little message when you make a donation, and I'll read the message, as long as it's clean. So thank you, Tia Marie. That's very kind of you. We really appreciate it. Okay, I'll read some more of your message in a second. If you want to reach out, you can write to me on Twitter. I'm at Lookner, at Lookner. My Twitter and email are on the screen right there. And I know I'm behind on messages. I'm doing my best to keep up with them, so I apologize if it takes me a while to get to it. Let's see here. So I just want to see if there's any new stuff about the actual... Oops, I didn't want to do that. Votes coming in. Hold on one second. Now, I will say this. I do see a comment from somebody on the Reddit stream that says, Quist appears to be running ahead of Clinton in important places. Let's see. So I'll show you that, because we've heard that there's some bad news for Quist tonight, but here's a piece of pretty good news for Quist. So let me get that up on your screen. Hold on one sec. While I do that, you can look at the lovely background. Thanks to Joe, we have this background tonight. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. That's the one I wanted. Oh, and by the way, Cindy Hoffman just gave $20 and said, Lookner, we will be at the front door. You come find us 4 a.m. We're not going to be there at 4 a.m. We're going to be sleeping, but we will find you. Thank you, Cindy. Very much looking forward to meeting you there. That'd be awesome. And interviewing you on the air if you'd like to be interviewed. Okay. All right. So let me show you this right now. This is from Gideon Resnick, and he says Gallatin County results with 21% reporting. Overall, Quist is up by 12%, was Clinton +1. So at least in Gallatin County, Quist is doing better than Hillary. Now, even that is not necessarily enough, because remember, Trump won by 20% in Montana. So if Quist does, say, 12% better than Hillary does, he's not going to win the election. He needs to do way better than Hillary does. But it appears in some other places besides Gallatin County, Quist might not be doing as well as he is in Gallatin County. Let me show you the overall vote totals. Gianforte's lead is a little wider. Some new votes have just come in. We're going to see that in a second. With 23% reporting, the Republican, Greg Gianforte, has 47.5%, is up by 0.8% on Rob Quist. And remember, the way this election was in theory going to go if Quist was going to win is Quist leads in the early voting, because that includes a lot of the votes by mail, and then holds his lead while Gianforte catches up. Now, we've seen a couple of analysts say that Quist did not have nearly the early lead he needed to have, and now he's trailing. We've also seen a couple of analysts say that the more rural part of Montana is going to start coming in, and that vote tends more Republican. So this might not be a good news for Rob Quist, but it's early. We'll keep an eye out on it. And hold on, let me just search for my other stuff here. Let me take a couple of comments here from you. Let's see. Anthony Scaming writes in, does the Democratic Party truly want Quist to win since he is a Bernie-crat? That's a good point, Anthony. I forgot to mention, Bernie did go last week to Montana, or it might have been, it was like 4 or 5 days ago, and he did campaign for Quist. So now, as to whether Quist is a Bernie-crat, I know. Now, Bernie is not a gun supporter. I don't know. They're not exactly the same, because Quist, Quist is in Montana, so he does take a bunch of views that, a Democrat in Massachusetts might not have. Like Quist has an ad out where he shoots a gun at a TV set running an ad against him. So he's pretty pro-gun. I mean, he's not like anti-gun like, some Democrats would be. But, I think the Democrats want Quist to win because they would love to be able to say, look, everybody hates Trump in the country. They really want to be able to say that. And maybe some in the media do too. So that's my thought on that. Timothy McBride says, what I see so far is that Quist is running 7 to 10 points ahead of the 2016 vote. Trump won by 20 points. Won't be enough, but it's early. Thank you, Timothy McBride, for writing in. And I think what you're referring to, Timothy McBride, you sent me a picture. You're saying if you look down here, so you folks at home, if you want to, you could always call in another window the New York Times map up. That's the New York Times. And the New York Times has a little display here, and it shows you how Gianforte and Quist are doing compared to the presidential election. And so, for example, in Yellowstone County, the margin is basically the same as in the presidential election. In Gallatin County, Quist is running about 10 points ahead of where Clinton was. In Missoula, he's running about 10 points ahead of where Hillary was, or 5 points ahead, 10 points ahead. In Lewis and Clark, he's running about 5 points ahead of Hillary. So he's really not running nearly as ahead of Hillary as he needs to be, as Timothy McBride said, to win the election. But it's early, as Timothy McBride said. Let me go back up to the results, see if there's more. 24% are in now. Hold on. We'll see that. We have an update here. 24% in. And we have Gianforte's lead is clearly growing. So it was under 1%. I think for the first time, Gianforte is now leading by more than 1%, 1.6%. Could Gianforte have a really big win tonight? Could he have a really big win? And if that happens, as I said, will the media say, well, I guess people do like Trump? Or will they not say that? I don't know. But it's looking like Gianforte is doing pretty well so far. Jeremiah CP writes in, the body slam gives the wrong impression of Montana. As a resident, I expect better behavior out of our representatives. And fair enough, Jeremiah. You know, if it was my representative, I wouldn't want them body slamming somebody either. So I understand your point, and I appreciate you writing in, Jeremiah. And Deplorable David B writes in, New York Times results are lagging. Check this out. Oh, there's a Decision Desk site up there. Let me see that. I'll look at it. Decision Desk has, thank you. Decision Desk is just a little bit ahead of New York Times, but I kind of like the way the New York Times thing looks a little better. So if it was like way in front, I'd go to the Decision Desk, but I'm going to stick on the New York Times site for now, but I appreciate you writing that in, Deplorable David B. So let me look and see if there's some news updates here. Maybe some analyst updates, people who are smarter than me about this election. Oh, Elmo Blatch just gave $50 and says, is it true you really wrote a Seinfeld episode? What else have you done? What made you decide to become a newsman? Elmo, that is true. I used to be a comedy writer. I can't really fully interrupt the broadcast to answer your question now, because then people will be really annoyed at me. But Elmo, maybe sometime you can email me or something and I can give you a more full answer. But Elmo Blatch, thank you so much for your donation. That's really nice of you, $50. That'll really help us here at Right Side Broadcasting. And I will say also, I was always in the news. I was always into the news and into politics. I just never worked in it. But Joe Seals was very nice to give me a job at Right Side Broadcasting. But thank you, Elmo, for your donation. Once again, this is Right Side Broadcasting. We are covering this election for you. We're giving you an alternative to the mainstream media. Somewhere else you can go for coverage. If you enjoy our coverage, I'm going to go on me for a second, just really quick. Oops. Really quick, I just want to say, hope you're enjoying our coverage. If you're enjoying our coverage, I hope you consider donating to Right Side, because we rely on you to stay on the air. We cannot stay on the air without your support. If you didn't send in donations, we would go off the air. We wouldn't even be able to go cover the President Trump rallies like we're going to cover next week. And we're going to cover them great. If you haven't seen our coverage of the Trump rallies, give it a chance next week, because we cover the whole thing, all of the speeches, hours of interviews of people. We go all the way up and down in the line. We even go to the back of the line. We interview people there waiting to get in. We interview people after the rally. So it's a really fun time. We show you the merchandise booths at the rally. So we do this for you. If you like our coverage, hope you consider donating, because you allow us to be on the air doing that. If you want to donate, rsbn.tv/donate. That's rsbn.tv/donate. That's one way you can donate. Another way you can donate is just click on the $ at the bottom of the chat room on YouTube. Chat room on YouTube, click right next to the broadcast, click on the $ at the bottom. And finally, if you want to maybe get some free Right Side stuff, we do this thing on Patreon, which we give out free Right Side stuff in exchange for monthly donation pledges. So go to www.patreon.com/RSBN. Okay, let's get back to the results. Enough of me asking for donations. Although I have to ask, because we can't stay on the air without them. Okay, those are the results in so far. 24% reporting. Gianforte is up by 1.6%. I want to see if there's anything new analyst-wise. Okay, let me show you this. I'm going to go back to me for a second. And I'm going to call this up here. Another sort of bad news tweet here for Rob Quist. Here it is. This is from Dustin Kleeman. Dustin Kleeman says, Rob Quist is struggling in Yellowstone and Cascade County. So that seems to be not great news there for Rob Quist. See what else we got here. Okay, I have another thing I want to show you real quick. Let me get that up on the screen here. Okay, let me show you both of these. So this is from Nate Kahn, who writes about elections for the New York Times, and he says, Apologies, by the way, when I go to these tweets, they're like disappearing for a second and coming on the screen again. I'm not sure why that's happening. I haven't had that issue before, so I will look into it for next time. Oh, and by the way, Nathan Grooms just gave $2. Thank you, Nathan, for your donation. Very much appreciated. All the donations help us stay on the air and covering things for you. Thank you, Nathan Grooms. So Nate Kahn wrote, let me make myself disappear for a second so you can read his tweet. Democrats who win Montana usually win Lake and Cascade counties and hold close in Yellowstone. Quist is down 7-20 in the electoral vote in all three. There won't be a call until there's real election day counted, but Quist needs something beyond what would usually be considered realistic. Oh, and Mr. Bob Paparapakowski just donated $69.99. He says, this donation is to be used for a meal for the Right Side crew during your trip to Iowa. Thank you for your efforts. I know you try really hard. Well, thank you, Mr. Bob Paparapakowski, for making that donation to us. Joe, if you're watching, that $69.99 goes to one of our meals in Iowa. And I'm guessing that can buy, if it's only me and Liz, we can buy a pretty good meal. But we won't excessively spend. Maybe we'll buy 2 meals with it. But thank you. That's really nice of you to donate. Okay, so let's go back to, again, that tweet on your screen right now. Those tweets, more bad news for Rob Quist. Okay, hold on here. Oops. Let's go back to the election results. Still 24% in. Let's see. And by the way, if you enjoy breaking news coverage, feel free to follow both me and Right Side on Twitter. I like to update on breaking news, give breaking news updates a lot on my Twitter feed. That's at Lookner, at Lookner. And on Right Side, we'll always update you at Right Side on our Twitter page of like when we're going to do new videos and when events are going to come on the air. So at RSB Network is how to get to Right Side on Twitter, at RSB Network. And also subscribe to Right Side on YouTube. And when you do, click the notifications bell, and then you'll get like a notification whenever we do a live video like this. It's kind of cool. We just got a $20 donation, a very nice $20 donation from Hawkeye. Hawkeye, I very much appreciate it. We all at Right Side appreciate your donation of $20. That's really kind of you. Thank you, Hawkeye. Oh, hold on. I got another thing here I got to say. We just got 2 new patrons on Patreon. That's the site you can go to and you can sign up and you can make a monthly donation and get free stuff from Right Side in return. Fred and James Yang just signed up to be new patrons. So thank you, Fred and James Yang. Much appreciated. By the way, Joe and Jake, if you're watching, if you see anybody, I can actually call it up here. Actually, I can't because I'm on another. Joe and Jake, if you see anybody who makes a donation on PayPal at rsbn.tv/donate, feel free to text me and I'll give them a shout out too. Again, if you want to donate on Patreon, that's www.patreon.com/RSBN. And easiest way to donate is click the $ in the YouTube chat room. And you can also go to rsbn.tv/donate. Okay, I want to read some more of your messages here. JC, one of our moderators, who's doing a fantastic job in the chat room tonight. JC says, Steve, please let the fake trolls, aka snowflakes, know RSBN Mod Squad is here and they are weak. Thank you for the lib tears, wannabe trolls. So I guess what's happening tonight is people are going to our chat room on YouTube and trying to troll it and mess with it. But we have such great moderators, and if you've never watched our chat before, you should or looked at it, gone into our chat room, check it out, because our moderators, they keep it a good, clean place to have a chat. They don't let people swear and say like really offensive things in there. So there's trolls trying to do that, but I know our mods are doing a great job of it. So moderators, great job. Also, we have a chat room on our website at rsbn.tv, so feel free to check that out as well. And we just gotta hold on a couple more donations. I'm trying to catch up on everything at once. I'm going to talk about the donations, then talk about the new votes in, then read some of your comments. Okay. Jim Adamson gives $20 and says, talk is cheap. It takes money, people. It takes money to provide real news. Money for rum and money for news. Well, Jim, it does take some money to have our network on the air, and people like you just gave us $20. You let us do it, so thank you so much, Jim Adamson. And we got a very patriotic $17.76 donation, $17.76 from Mr. Nicktown. And he says, looking good, Steve, #MAGA. Very kind of you, Mr. Nicktown. Thank you for your donation. And we have more donations. Margaret Barolotti gave $5, and Angelica Steckbauer gave $10 at rsbn.tv/donate. Thank you both. Thank you to Margaret Barolotti and Angelica Steckbauer. Very nice of you. Okay. Now, voting update, as you can see. So the votes have been coming in quite slowly. We might be here for a while, because if you remember, the first 19% came in really quickly, and then we've been slowly creeping up after that. Now, Greg Gianforte, for the first time, has gone up by 2%. This is his biggest lead of the night. And we've heard that as the votes come in, supposedly, they'll be favorable for Gianforte because more of the rural votes will start coming in. So we'll see if that's actually borne out. But Gianforte is now up by 2% with 25% of the votes reporting. Okay, let me see. Let me catch up here. I want to read a couple more of your comments. We really love taking your comments here at Right Side Broadcasting. We like being interactive. The mainstream media doesn't do that. They don't read your comments on the air, but we do. Let's see. Andrew Sova says, which episode did you do of Seinfeld? Andrew, I'm not answering those questions right now. Email me and I'll tell you, Andrew. That's off topic. Gene Arthur says, Gene Arthur, you sent me the link for the election results from the Montana. I looked at that site before, the Secretary of State site for Montana. I see that there. And I'm going to do a quick peek there and see what that looks like. That looks good too. But I'm going to leave, I've been with the New York Times site. Oh, and they're actually a little behind the New York Times results. So I'm going to stick with the New York Times for right now. But thank you. Chaz Packhand says, just followed you on Twitter. Really enjoying RSBN coverage. Thank you, Chaz. Glad you're enjoying the coverage. Yeah, feel free to follow both me on Twitter at Lookner and Right Side Broadcasting on Twitter at RSB Network. On Twitter, I do like to tweet about the news all the time and breaking news. So if you like that kind of stuff, give me a follow. I Am Resistance writes, great coverage as always. Keep fighting for the truth and for Trump. I Am Resistance. Well, thank you. Now, we don't specifically fight for Trump. We want to be a place where people who like Trump can come and give their views and not be shouted at. And we want to be a place where we can just give you the information and let you decide. So, but we are, we don't cut off Trump's speeches. We show the whole speech when he speaks. So we appreciate you writing in. And if you like President Trump and you've never seen our coverage of the rallies, I would encourage you to watch our coverage next week because it's going to be really fun and really enjoyable. And Michael says, honestly, it's hard for me to believe anything the mainstream media says anymore. That's from Michael. We just got another donation. That donation is from Smock. Smock gives $25, and Smock 2112. Is that a Rush reference? I love the band Rush. They have an album named 24112. Anyways, Smock 2112 gives $25 and says, I make weekly deliveries to Kalispell in Missoula in Montana, and just interacting with people there, it seems there's a tension there that is reminiscent of the pre-Trump era. So that's a little inside information about Montana from Smock 2112. Thank you for your donation. Very kind of you, Smock 2112. Okay, we're still at 25%. The results are getting slower. This could be a long night. I better keep drinking some water. I don't mind that it's a long night. I hope you stick with us here. Okay, I'm going to do a quick check. Oh, and Jason Thornton. Hello, Jason. Jason says, please play audio loop of Body Slam again, Steve. Thanks, RSBN, you rock. Okay, Jason gave $5. Jason's a really good guy. He's been with Right Side from the beginning. He holds up Right Side signs at the rallies. Because you gave us a donation, Jason, and you asked for it, I'm going to play right now. I'm going to interrupt our election coverage and play, once I find it, hold on, I will play you the audio from the Body Slam incident, because I know some of you like hearing that. So, or don't look. And if you don't like it, you can cover your ears. Hold on. Let me find it. Give me 1 second here, folks. Where is it here? Hold on, I'm just pulling it up here so I can play it for you. Oops, that's not what I want to do. I think this is it. All right, hold on. Here we go. So because Jason requested it and Jason gave us a donation, I am going to play the body slam video now. Hold on one sec, folks. Then we'll get back to the election results. Here we go. Hopefully this works. Oh, let me turn the sound down so you're not blasted with sound. And I'll turn my... Actually, hold on, I'll do this. I'm going to mute my mic for a second. All right, here we go.
You know you were waiting to make your decision about healthcare until you saw the bill and it just came out. And what you the CBO score, because you know you were waiting to make your decision about healthcare until you saw the bill and it just came out. And what you thought.
We'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah, but there's not going to be time. I'm just curious if you had to
Speak
right
with
now.
Shane, please.
But you don't.
Sick and tired of you guys. The last guy that came in here, you did the same thing. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. The last guy did the same thing. You were the guardian?
Yes, and you just broke my glasses.
The last guy did the same damn thing.
You just body slammed me and broke my glasses.
Get the hell out of here.
You'd like me to get the hot up here?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I did something wrong. I thought I muted my mic, so you're probably hearing the sound all messed up. Hold on. Let me play this again. I'll mute my mic so you can hear it. I apologize. Sorry. I'm going to turn my mic off so you don't hear any sound, okay, from me. This is going to work this time. Here we go. Here it is again.
Into the CBO score, because you know you were waiting to make your decision about healthcare until you saw the bill and it just came out. And what you thought.
We'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah, but there's not going to be time. I'm just curious if you had to
Speak
right
with
now.
Shane, please.
But you don't.
Sick and tired of you guys. The last guy that came in here, you did the same thing. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. The last guy did the same thing. You were the guardian?
Yes, and you just broke my glasses.
The last guy did the same damn thing.
You just body slammed me and broke my glasses.
Get the hell out of here.
You'd like me to get the hot up here? I'd also like to call the police. Can I get you guys' names?
Hey, you gotta leave.
He just body slammed me.
I'm back now. Sorry, audio's back. I think we're all good here. That was that. So Jason, I hope you enjoyed the video. So we got a couple more donations during the video. Tia Marie, you already donated, so thank you, Tia Marie. You gave $10 and said thank you for all you do. We have a Canadian man donated $10 Canadian. Thank you, Canadian man. Much appreciated from Canada for that. We love that support from Canada. So thank you so much, Canadian man. Okay, and sorry. All right, so we're up to 26% now. Gianforte is now, his lead is growing. He is now at 2.5%. So we're seeing a lot of growth on Gianforte's lead. I mean, so the number of votes in has only gone up a little, like the number of precincts in has only gone up a little bit, but it seems like every time like a percent comes in of the vote, or of the precincts come in, he goes up like another 0.5%. So these seem to be good signs for Gianforte. Let me do a quick check here of the news and see if I can get any other analysis of this to give to you. Okay, decision, a couple things I'm going to show. I want to show you a couple things here. Hold on. Let me just get this up on the screen and I'll show it to you. There's a couple things I wanted to show you. Here's the two things I want to show you. Here, this is first is from, oh, that was too early. There's a little delay there. Sorry. It'll be up on your screen in a second. There it goes. So, and I'm going to announce a donation in a second. But first, Decision Desk HQ that covers elections, they write, much of the early vote is now counted. Remember, the early vote is where Quist was supposedly going to build up his lead. Much of the early vote is now counted. Gianforte is sporting a small but growing lead. Election day vote. So that's that one. I also want to show you this one. And if you look at this, this says, hold on a second. Gianforte, this is from Reddit live stream. Gianforte is currently pulling ahead. If this were a normal election, at this point it would be callable, but there was that teensy assault everybody's talking about. Right now we're waiting to find out how drastic the election day swing was. Okay. By the way, I'm sort of interested, is the mainstream media covering this election? Now that Gianforte is winning, are they still covering it? Let's see. I'm going to turn on my TV right now real quick. Oh, you know what's being covered on MSNBC? Investigators probing Jared Kushner. Oh, it says financial crimes. I don't even know. Is that new news? I don't even know what's news anymore. But they're just showing Kushner and Ivanka. Okay, that's that. What else is new? Let's see. They're covering. I can't tell on CNN, but I'll check that again in a second. All right, I'm going to keep covering the election. That's what I'm going to do. By the way, Joe told me that Lee Rouse gave $10 and Debashis Dutta gave $17.76 and Sanford Babbitt gave $12 on PayPal. That is very nice of you all. Lee Rouse, Debashis Dutta, and Sanford Babbitt, thank you so much for those donations. Very generous of you. We really appreciate it. Here's my really quick, let me get you back to the results while I say something. Oops, sorry. New numbers in. New numbers are in. And the lead for Gianforte seems to be growing a little bit. So with 29% of the vote in, 29% of the vote in, or well, of the precincts in, I'm not sure if it's 29% of the actual votes, we have Gianforte up by 2.6% now. His lead is growing. His lead is growing. So we will see, again, it looks like most of the early votes are counted now. And so it says 29%, but I think, I wanted to say that they were expecting, I think, don't hold me to this, I want to say they were expecting about 400,000 votes. So my point is that the early vote is mostly counted. So even though it says 71% is remaining, that might be 71 of the precincts, but maybe that's more like 50% of the vote, because some of the precincts are small precincts. A lot of these precincts that haven't reported yet are rural precincts. So my guess is that that about half the vote remains to be counted, and that's the vote that's coming today and not the early vote. And so Quist's big hope, I guess, now is that people like today who voted were like, I'm not going to vote for that guy, even though I thought I was going to vote for him. I'm not going to vote for Gianforte anymore because he bought the body slam. We'll see what happens as the votes come in. Oh, and now we have the lead grows bigger. With 30% of the vote in, 30% of the precincts reporting, Gianforte is now up by 3.1%. Well, if you look at trends, Gianforte is doing better and better and better tonight. Let me do a quick check on something here while I have a chance. I'm just looking here really quickly to see if there's more of an update here. Okay, here's another. Nope, sorry. I'm going to go back to me for 1 second, guys, and then I'm going to go back to the results, but I just wanted to check something here. So here's a little tweet for you, just to give you some perspective here. Holly Michaels writes, 189,000 votes cast, 282 votes cast out of 700,000 about registered voters. Now, I'm imagining not all the voters will vote, but there's 700,000 registered voters. But as of the results now, they've counted about 190,000 of them. So I think maybe we have about half the votes in. I don't know why that is. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on a little delay here, so I apologize. It's bouncing around. Sorry about that. Let me get back to the results. Let me fix that issue there. My bad. Now that I have a little bit of a breather, I'm going to get some of your messages that you've sent in. If you want to write to me, happy to read your comments on the air, take your questions on the air. You can either go to my Twitter feed at Lookner, at Lookner, and direct message me there, or email me at the address on your screen. Parade Driver. Hello, Parade Driver. You write in. Ben Jacobs reminds me of this scene from Austin Powers. Ben, I'll have to watch it in a little bit. I can't watch it right now. I can't show it because I'm not allowed to show Austin Powers on the air here. Parade Driver, I'll watch in a little bit. Good to hear from you. Let's see. Paste, you say Decision Desk is much further ahead now. Okay, maybe I'll check that in a little bit. Oh, Andrew Sova says, yeah, I mentioned if you want to... Andrew Sova, I got your message. I see now what you were saying, so we'll talk later. Jeffrey Williams writes, hey, Steve, will you be covering the Georgia special congressional race on January 20th? The answer is yes. That's the race. Sorry, when I lean back, the green screen gets kind of messed up. So I'm going to have to work on that. But yes, on June 20th, we will be covering live here at Right Side Broadcasting the Georgia special election, which was to fill Tom Price's House seat. We will be covering that here as well. Greg Gianforte's lead is now 3.2%. He has extended his lead. It seems to be growing. Let's see. Patriot Mario says, oh, I think you're replying to Trump and not to Norway and not to me. Oh, Don Bilivit says, I just gave you a follow. How about a shout out, baby? I stand with Gianforte. Yes, Don, if you followed me and you asked for a shout out, I will, and you're watching this broadcast, I will give you a shout out. Thanks, Don, so much. Okay, let me check. While I have a second here, I just want to say again, sorry, hold on. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast. I hope we're enjoying bringing this to you, bringing you this alternative to the mainstream media coverage of the congressional election, the special one in Montana. Thank you to all the moderators and you two for moderating the chat room. Much appreciated. Thank you all for watching so far. Hope you're having a good time watching this. Let me just give you a heads up in case you didn't know. President Trump is doing a rally next Thursday, December 1st at 7 p.m. in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and we will be there covering it live. I'm going to go to Cedar Rapids next week, and so is Liz, and hopefully Margaret does too. Micah, it cannot go because Micah, I believe, does reserve. He's in the reserve. Is he like in ROT? It's not. Is it ROTC? I can't remember what Micah's in. He's in the military reserve, I believe, and he has to go for a couple months and do some he has to do his service for them. Be on duty, or I'm sorry, I don't know the exact terms. But so really sadly, we won't be able to have Micah with us next rally. But we'll be there covering it, and we really look forward to covering it for you, and hope you can join us for it. That's next week, Thursday, June 1st. Put it on your calendar, and we'll start covering it several hours before the rally in the early afternoon. And by the way, we just got a donation from Samford Babbitt, and Samford Babbitt says, Steve, what is the Guando Fire Services on your office cam chat? It appears to be an Australian company. Are they your sponsor? So I am not allowed to answer that question. Only Joe Seals can answer that question. So if Joe texts me, I will say something about it. But that is a Joe matter, a very important matter that only Joe can talk about. But thank you, Samford, for your donation. Very much appreciated. If you would like to donate, by the way, so we cover events like this for you. We cover breaking news. We were on the air earlier today talking about the appeals court decision where they upheld the travel ban block. But we're covering President Trump's rally. We cover all the rallies. If you enjoy our coverage and you want to see us keep doing it, please consider donating to us because we cannot stay on the air without your donations. Your donations pay our bills and let us broadcast these things to you. So if you want to donate, a couple ways you can donate that are really easy. Go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate, or click on the $ in the YouTube chat room like Sanford Babbitt just did. And you can donate. At the bottom of the chat room on YouTube, there's a $sign there. You can click on it and donate that way. Also, if you want to get free Right Side stuff, we do a Patreon site where you can set up a monthly donation. You get cool free Right Side stuff in return. So if you want to know more about that, go to www.patreon.com/RSBN, and Patreon is spelled Patreon. Thank you to everybody who's donated so far tonight. That's really nice of you to have done so. We really appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to the results and see what we got. Oh, we got some more new numbers in. New numbers. Hold on. Let me get them up on the screen for you. Wow. Gianforte's lead is growing. Is the mainstream media freaking out? Is the left freaking out? I don't know. But all I know is Gianforte's lead is growing. This is pretty amazing. Gianforte's lead is growing, even though he body slammed a reporter last night and got cited for a misdemeanor assault. Now, granted, a lot of the, about half the votes, if not more, came in early today, so there's that. Anyway, Gianforte is now up by, 4.7% with 35% reporting. And I want to show you the map for a second so you can see. So you can, we heard some analysts before say that the eastern part of the state is very rural, and there's still a lot of counties that are out there. So you can see now we're not hearing from a bunch of these counties here. Roosevelt and Richland, you'll see it on your screen in a second, and Dawson and Prairie. I'm going over these counties right now. You'll see I'm going over some of the counties that are out. These are all in the, a lot of these counties out are not in the urban areas. The urban areas are all these ones with like the dots on them, because those are the big towns. But a lot of these blank ones are just rural areas, and those are areas that presumably are going to go for Gianforte. So you can see a lot of those rural areas are empty right now, and those votes take a little while to come in. Let's get those totals back up on the screen. Let me check to see if there's any kind of analyst update here. Let's see. Now I'm going to show you a tweet. Some of you might not like this tweet, but I'm going to show it to you anyway as an example of some of the things people are tweeting out tonight. Here we go. Oops. Sorry, I meant to go on to me. Stop the speaker. I guess that's somebody on Twitter says, Paul Ryan is so desperate for one more vote in his caucus that he supports someone who committed assault. Let that sink in. So that person does not like Gianforte and thinks that they should not be supported, but Gianforte is still winning tonight. But I just want to give you a little sample of the kind of things people are saying on Twitter tonight. Let me see what else is out there. I'm going to show you also here. This is kind of an interesting tweet. Hold on. Oh, wow. We just got a $100 donation from Currencia. Wow, Currencia, that is incredibly nice of you. That'll help us go to the Trump rally definitely and cover it next week. And it'll help us do more shows like this. So Currencia just gave us $100. Thank you so much to Currencia. Thank you. Okay, I want to show you this here. Let me go back to me real quick. Now, let me do this. Here you go. Let me show you this one. Oops. You'll see it in a second. There we go. Oh, this says, let me move it up a second. Oops. There. Hold on, I'm waiting for it to get on your screen so you can see it. Charlie Warzel says, what is it doing? I'm having a little bit of an issue, guys, with getting the tweets on the screen. It'll come on in a second. I apologize. It's being a little fidgety when I try to post tweets here for you. So Charlie Warzel says, sorry, it's coming. In a second, you'll see the words in 2 seconds. I promise you. He says, currently at Quist party, people are gathered around a chill projection of a lake in some mountains. So that is the Quist party. It doesn't seem, at least like now, that they're going to be celebrating a victory tonight. But also, the room is a little bit empty. But maybe it's early. Maybe no one was supposed to show up there till later. I don't know. That's the Quist party going on right now. Let's go back to the votes. Still the same number there. Same lead. Same votes. Let's see. Here's some analysis. Well, hold on a second. As an example of some analysis, well, this is analysis. Hold on, I don't want to post that yet. I also want to get to your messages. A couple people wrote me here. Parade Driver says there's some great coverage on 538 of the election. I'll call that up, Parade Driver. Thank you. It's one I didn't have up there before. Thank you. That's actually a good site to have up there, Parade Driver. Hold on a second. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Hold on, folks. I'm just doing something really quick here. Sorry, folks. I'm just getting something on the screen right now. Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, please. I appreciate it. Ooh, it's a little difficult. All right, anyways. Sorry, folks. Let me go back to the vote count. We have some new votes in. New votes in. You'll see them in 2 seconds. Sorry, a little bit of a delay. With 39% of the precincts reporting, Gianforte's lead has widened a bit more. Gianforte now has a 5.2 percentage point lead with 39% of the precincts reporting. He is up by about 12,000 votes now. Sorry, a lot going on right now. I'm trying to just catch up here on everything. I gotta close some windows. I have too many windows open on my computer. I'm confusing myself. Okay, we got a message from some beach, B-E-A-C-H, by the way. And some beach says, this is just the beginning. I predict there will be bullets if those idiot reporters don't start telling the truth and being respectful. Now, I hope there's not bullets. We do not advocate violence toward anyone. So, some beach, it doesn't sound like you're advocating it. You're just saying you're saying that there might be violence towards reporters if they don't start telling the truth and being respectful. And I hope that doesn't happen. Believe me, I think that would be awful if that happened. But you are saying some beach that there is a lot of upsetness and anger at some reporters out there. Kelly D writes in, that's horrifying. Assault and battery because he got annoyed. Pathetic excuse for a human being. So Kelly D is not a fan of Gianforte. Some beach also writes, I am interested to know in knowing how the Montana election turned out. I would have voted for Gianforte because he beat up a reporter. He didn't say beat up, he said something else, or she said something else, but that's what he said. So this person actually liked Gianforte, what Gianforte did last night. Again, we at Right Side do not condone or encourage violence in any way, shape, or form. And you're sending me, Timothy McBride sent me a note that said, from the Montana Secretary of State, which is a sort of a clip from their site, which is around the same as the New York Times. So I'll just stick with the New York Times, but thank you, Timothy. And you're saying, Timothy, the Montana Secretary of State site shows turnout, which precincts fully, partially reported. So, Timothy, let me see. I think I'm going to stick with the New York Times because it's a little simpler, and I'm worried. I have so much going on here that if I start, it's just me. I wish I was a little better at this, but if I start switching the sites, I'm going to just mess everything up. So for right now, for the vote, Timothy, I'm going to stick with the New York Times site, but I appreciate you sending in that link. If you have any comments or see any interesting links online about the election, or you have any questions about it, I'm happy to read your comments on the air, and I love getting links from you. So you can write to me at Lookner on Twitter, at Lookner, or email me at steve.lookner@rsbn.tv. Speaking of email, I haven't checked my email in a while. I apologize. Okay, here are some email messages. Let me get to those. Patrick Moat says, Is it me, or has Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren been quiet lately? Well, Bernie Sanders did appear in that event for Rob Quist in Montana, but I don't, have they been quieter? I don't know. It's a good question. Thanks, Patrick, for writing in. Common Sense writes in, on election night, November 8th, it seems sometimes the networks were holding up giving results when Trump was getting close to Clinton. Do you think they are being slow in giving results intentionally, hoping more votes will come in for the Democrats so they don't have to show the Republican ahead at any time? So, Common Sense, on this election, I had read a bunch of stuff beforehand that said it's going to take a while for these votes to come in, especially in the rural counties. I guess it just takes a long time for them to either count or report. I don't know why, but there are reasons. This was not unanticipated that this vote would take a long time tonight. So I don't think there's any funny business going on as far as I'm aware. Diane Birch writes in, Steve, you are very professional. We all love you. I love Diana. Thank you, Diana, so much. I try my best, and we try our best here. So I hope you are enjoying the coverage tonight. Dave C. You wrote me a message not about the election. So, Dave, I will get to this later on. Thank you for writing. 42. So we have some new numbers. Gianforte is now up by 5.6%. We have he's up. There's 42% of the precincts are reporting. So it's looking quite good for Gianforte now. His lead is growing. Although I've heard people say that the margins matter in this because, if Quist is close at the end, maybe that shows it's a good sign for Democrats. But we'll see what the margin ends up being. Ace Solo says, can you give a shout out to Miss Jones from Solo? We are watching your coverage from Seattle. Right Side is the best. Well, since you are fans of Right Side and you said such nice things about us, yes, shout out to Miss Jones from Solo. Thank you, Ace, for writing in and watching. Miss Apropos, you sent me an article, a Breitbart article about Ben Jacobs. I will have to look at that later on. Thanks, Miss Apropos, for writing in. I'm just catching up on some of your comments here. Sorry it took me so long to get to them. Super Gains Bros writes in, if Gianforte wins and is charged with assault, will he be forced to resign? The last thing the GOP needs are more scandals. So he was already charged with misdemeanor assault. That's all he's going to get. I assume he'll do no jail time for that. He could, in theory. I assume he won't. He could be censured. I wonder, can Congress people be impeached by Congress? I want to say maybe they can, but I don't think this would actually happen. So I don't see he will not be forced to resign, best I can tell, unless something else comes out. I don't see a scenario in which that happens. Super Gains Bros. And now that I think of it, it's a good point you make. Might people have thought, if the misdemeanor assault charge didn't come out last night, might people have thought today, maybe he'll get a felony assault charge and have to go to jail. Should I vote for him? So I wonder, did the Justice Department in Montana want to get that charge out last night to get rid of any questions about it? Maybe some people think that helped Gianforte that came out last night because it took away the possibility of a felony assault charge. Ket King says they actually are up to their old tricks. I was watching the percentages closely. Ket King, I don't know. I haven't seen any evidence that any funny business is going on tonight. Now, maybe you disagree? And Jeffrey Williams wanted me to show the full map for a second, so I'll show that for you. Now, you'll see a lot of it's red on the right side there, but notice that it's the area doesn't correspond to the population. I mean, the population is centered on the places with the big towns, but a lot of that area is rural and not as populated as the rest of it. But the rural part is going for Gianforte as was predicted. We got some new numbers there I want to show you. 43% of the precincts are now reporting. You're going to see this in a second. And Gianforte is now up by 5.3%. 5.3%. So a little even bigger lead for Gianforte. This is Right Side Broadcasting. We are covering the special election in Montana. Hope you are enjoying our coverage. Let's see. Some Beach wrote in, some B-E-A-C-H. I do not hate anyone, but I am a great judge of the status of people. They are tired, dishonestly. Peaceful redress is blocked. Violence next. Do you think there's going to be some violence? I hope not, some Beach. Okay, let's see here. I think in a second I'm going to show you the results. Let me just see if there's more. I want to see if there's a little more analysis here. Okay, let me show you this. Hold on, go back to me. Sorry, I'm just calling something up here. There we go. Here's a tweet from, what happened there? This tweet will be at the bottom. Ooh, you can't see it. Darn it. Sorry, let me go back to me for a second. Let me get that back up there. I don't know what happened there. Oh, there it is. There it is. I got it for you. Why does it do that? There's something odd going on. Sorry, guys. Oh, I know what's happening. I get what's happening now. I get why it's getting messed up. Okay, nothing's wrong. Here we go. David Rothschild writes, most voters turned off by assault claim to move to libertarian or not vote, which limits benefits for Quist. Also socially desirable answer. So David Rothschild is saying that people who were turned off by the assault and they switched their vote, they either moved to libertarian or they didn't vote. They didn't go from Gianforte to Quist. That's what David Rothschild said. Let me go back to the results here. Sorry. Okay, I need to take about a 1-minute break here. I'm going to leave the results up on your screen. I'm going to mute my mic. I will be right back. Again, keep watching. This is Right Side. We're going to have more coverage of this election. Well, we're still covering it, and I'm just going to disappear off your screen for about a minute, and then I'm going to come right back. Okay, I am back. Thanks for letting me take that break. This is Right Side Broadcasting. We are covering the results. They are coming in very slowly now for the Gianforte Quist race. It is 11:38 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for joining us so far. Oh, and we got a new patron. on Patreon, Lucy Overstreet. Very cool. Lucy Overstreet, thank you for becoming a new patron of Right Side. I'll talk about that in a second. I'll also say this, let me go to me for a second. So real quick, my offer from last night still stands. So last night we were covering the Body Slam story. If you want to watch that video, you can watch it at Right Side on YouTube. But my offer from last night was, some people said, hey, we want to see that Body Slam video again. They kept asking for it. And I said, well, look, I'm not going to literally show it the entire time we're on the air, but if somebody wants to donate, I'll play it again for you. I'll play you the audio again. So my offer still stands. If somebody wants to donate, I'll play it again for you. But in general, hope if you like our coverage, you'll consider donating to Right Side, because we are viewer funded. Viewers like you fund us. We can't stay on the air without your help. And we're going to be covering the President Trump's rally next week in Iowa. It's going to be really fun. We're going to go there. It's going to be June 1st, Thursday, 7 p.m. We're going to do a whole day of coverage there. Look forward to bringing that to you. But it costs money to go, obviously. So if you would like to support us, you can go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. Or you can click the $ in the YouTube chat room at the bottom of the chat room, and you can donate that way. Or you can do this thing on Patreon where you set up a monthly donation and you get cool Right Side free stuff in return. To do that, go to www.patreon.com/RSBN. Patreon is Patreon. Okay, let's go back to the results. For new numbers, it's about the same. The lead is about the same as it was. Although Gianforte, was he at 50 before? Is this the first time he's hit 50%? Gianforte, it might be. So Gianforte is now at 50%. He's leading by 4.8%. Over 5.8% over Rob Quist, with 45% of the precincts reporting. And wow, okay, John PS30 just gave $20, and James Wolfe gave $5, and John says play that funky Body Slam, and James Wolfe says play it. So because I just got 2 donations, I am going to play again for you that Body Slam audio. All right, hold on, give me a second. Let me get it set up here. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. For you, I will do it. Oh. Here we go. All right, ready? Hold on a second.
To the CBO. Score, because you know you were waiting to make your decision about healthcare until you saw the bill and it just came out. And what you thought
we'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah, but there's not going to be time. I'm just curious if you have the
speak
right
with
now.
Shane, please.
But you don't.
Sick and tired of you guys. The last time that came in here, you did the same thing. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. The last guy did the same thing. You were the guardian.
Yes, and you just broke my glasses.
The last guy did the same damn thing.
You just body slammed me and broke my glasses.
Get the hell out of here.
If you'd like me to get the hell out of here, I'd also like to call the police. Can I get you guys' names?
Hey, you gotta leave.
He just body slammed me.
So that again, hold on. That was, I hope that was worth it to you, the donors who donated for that. Again, if somebody wants to hear that later tonight. So hold on, Ditka's Bears 2 just donated $5. Thank you, Ditka's Bears 2. And Carl Peterson just made a donation and said read the transcript. So Carl, because Carl just made a donation for $10, said read the transcript with character, LOL. I didn't make that offer, Carl. I will do that in a little bit. Carl, I will read the transcript in a little bit. I won't go crazy getting into character because I don't think you want to see that really. But Carl, I will do it. So in a little bit, I will read the transcript for you. And feel free, if people want to donate again, I'll play that video again. But thank you for your donations. That's really helpful, everyone. Okay, in the meantime, while we were playing that video and hearing the body slam again, Greg Gianforte's numbers went up. He's up by 6.2%. It's 49% reporting right now. He's up by 6.2%, 49% reporting. Hold on a second. Let me check one thing real quick here. If you'd like to write in and comment or have any questions or comments, feel free to write to me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Also, if you like breaking news stuff and news stories, I do tweet out a lot of breaking news stuff and updates as I get them. So feel free to follow me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner, and follow Right Side as well at RSB Network. Thank you to the moderators again for doing such a great job in the chat tonight. I heard there were some people trying to troll you, but the mod squad took care of it. Let's see. Kelly, let's see here. A couple messages here. Joe writes in. Joe says, I hope Gianforte wins and then resigns. I know this is something people don't want to hear, but do we really want to give a group like the Young Turks something to be right about, such as Republicans will vote for their candidate regardless of what they do? Re-election has better optics than a sitting Republican who assaulted someone before the election and has still won. So you think, Joe, that this might harm Republicans having him get elected? Thank you, Joe, for your message. Appreciate it. And in the meantime, Jonas just gave $5 Canadian dollars and says, dramatic reenactment of the body slam. I don't know. I feel like I could get hurt if I did that, Jonas. If I reenact that body slam, then I got to get another person to come over, and it's a whole thing. So maybe it's, I could do like oh, I don't even know how it would work. I didn't see the video. I don't know what happened. So I'm sorry I'm sorry I can't offer you a dramatic reenactment of the body slam. But thank you for your donation. That's very kind of you. And Les Molyneux, I'm pronouncing that wrong, Les Molyneux, gave $10. Thank you, is it Les Molyneux or Les Molyneux? I can't tell. But thank you, $10 donation. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. That helps us stay on the air. And Rev Genetics just gave $100. Wow, that's really generous, really kind. Rev Genetics, $100 donation. Thank you all for your donations. That's so kind of you. Really appreciate it. Very nice of you. That will help us cover the rally next week, President Trump's rally. I think you're really going to enjoy our coverage. I hope you do. And I hope you're enjoying this coverage tonight. I got a new message here. Let's see here. I think Lucy Overstreet is a new patron, but I did announce that, so am I missing a message from someone? Anyways, Lucy Overstreet, if I did announce you before, I'm sorry for repeating, but Lucy Overstreet, thank you for becoming a patron. I think I said that though, sorry. Okay, we are on hold at 49% reporting of the precincts in. We're waiting for more votes to come in. Let me look here. Here's a little update for you. Hold on, let me get this up on the screen. Get an update for you coming here. This is from Decision Desk HQ. And they say a large pile is coming from Missoula soon, election day votes. Now, Missoula is a liberal area, so we might see a little bit, it looks like a little bit of a spike soon for Quist, if this holds true. Oh, we got another new patron. That's so cool. Bill Douglas has signed up to be a patron of us on Right Side. A patron is when you sign up on Patreon to give us a monthly donation, and you can get cool Right Side stuff in return. If you're interested, free stuff. So if you're interested in that, go to www.patreon.com/RSBN, and Patreon is PATREON. So we have right now still holding at 49%. Gianforte is up by 6.2%. Let me see if some people have written me. Hold on. I keep trying to catch up on everything, and I keep falling behind. Oops, I didn't want to do that. One sec, folks. Currencia. Wow. Currencia says, I offered to match the next $50 that came in and $115 just came in. So here is $50 more. Oh my gosh, Currencia, that is so cool of you. So you've been matching a donation and you just gave us more. That is really nice, Currencia. So Currencia, special shout out to you for doing the matching donation thing and adding to your donation from before and giving us 50 more. Very, very nice of you. Thank you, Currencia. Thank you. I want to show this real quick. Hold on, let me go to me. By the way, doesn't that look nice back there? It does. Joe did a great job getting this background. It's such a nice background. I'm only going to use it for I'll use this background for the special election, the one in Georgia coming up in June. We'll do that. It would have been weird if I used this for the British election, though. Hold on a second. Okay, this is a little post from Nate Silver. Nate Silver says, even relative to 2016 results, which already featured a big urban-rural divide, we're seeing one tonight. In Montana's most populous counties, Quist is running only 3 or 4 points behind the benchmarks he'd need to win, although Yellowstone is a big exception to that so far. But in the smaller, more rural ones, he's running maybe 12 points behind his benchmark. So big rural-urban divide like we see in a lot of the country going on tonight. Wow, okay, a bigger lead. Gianforte's lead has just grown. 51% of the votes are in. 51% of the precincts are in. And Gianforte now leads by 6.8%. His vote seems to be growing and growing. His lead seems to be growing and growing and growing. We got some more messages here. Let me get to them. Shane Finch writes in, enjoying your coverage tonight. Should Gianforte include a simple apology in his victory speech? That is a fantastic question, Shane. Personally, I think it'd be good for Gianforte to apologize. So I would say go for it. I don't know what he really has to lose at this point by doing so. Now, some people are going to say he should apologize during the day, but he didn't admit anything. He didn't want to admit anything during the day. I don't know. But it's an interesting thought, Shane Finch, and maybe he will. Maybe he will. If he is speaking, let me know. I'm going to turn on my TV here and see. If you do see him speaking, I can only look at so many things here. So if you do happen to see Gianforte speaking, if I don't catch it on my TV or something, give me a shout. Let me know. Give me a shout on Twitter at Lookner and let me know, and I'll try to get it up here, a little bit of the speech. Also, if you see Quist speaking too, let me know. That'd be awesome. Let's see, more messages. I want to catch up with some more messages you sent me. Irish Pennsylvanian writes in, Greg Gianforte almost broke 50% earlier, but now he's starting to fall below. I think Libertarian Mark Wicks is pulling votes from Gianforte and keeping him below 50%. What do you think? Brendan, thank you, Brendan. So first of all, Gianforte is now above 50%. So he looks like he's going to stay above 50%. Second of all, yeah, so Mark Wicks, if he's libertarian, presumably he does take some votes away from Gianforte. That was anticipated, though. Mark Wicks was supposed to get, I think, around this many votes. He was polling about this level. So, but it looks like your concern about Gianforte not getting 50% is not going to matter. It's not going to be too big. Ultimately, that's not going to be too big of a deal because it looks like Gianforte is increasing his lead and he's above 50% now. Francis Purcell writes in, Dear Mr. Lookner, has Montana traditionally voted for Republicans? Thank you so much, Francis Purcell. So this is a complex question. Let me see if I can remember this. I'm going to have a feeling I can't remember all of this. They usually vote for, they've mixed. They're mixed. They voted for both Democrat and Republicans, and they lean Republican, but they do vote for both. So right now they have one Democratic senator and one Republican senator. The governor, I think, is a Keith Bullock is a Democrat, but for the last 20 years, their House rep, they have one House representative in all of Montana, and that's been Republican in the last 20 years. Let me look and see if Governor Bullock. He's a Democrat, their governor currently. So my understanding of Montana is they do lean Republican, but they have an independent streak and they will elect Democrats too. So it's not like solid red state. And they do have a Democrat. I think John Chester is their Democratic senator right now. me just catch up here. Benjamin Ellis writes in, you seem to be mocking a reporter who was assaulted. You think that's okay? Benjamin, I was not mocking a reporter that was assaulted. As I said before, we do, right side, we do not condone violence. And I actually said earlier in the broadcast that I did not think it was a good thing that Gianforte assaulted this reporter. And I actually said before in the broadcast, I said that the reporter did not appear to be physically threatened Gianforte. So it's not cool in my view that Gianforte acted out violently towards this reporter. In terms of mocking the reporter who was assaulted, are you talking about something maybe someone said, maybe a person said something in the chat room you interpreted as that? I don't know. I mean, the moderators, they do a good job moderating the chat room. Now, maybe, I don't know, I haven't been looking at the chat room, and people are free to express their views in the chat room as long as they're not like, super offensive or racist or that kind of stuff. And so, just to clarify, I was not mocking the reporter. I think that video, I played the video and I was kind of smiling because it's a kind of a crazy video. And so my reaction to the video when it was playing was more like, oh my gosh, this is like nuts. But I certainly was not mocking the reporter. I don't want to mock somebody who got beaten up or anything like that. So I apologize, Benjamin Ellis, that you came to that conclusion, but that was not something I was doing and I would not do in that situation. Okay, we are here at 54%. There are new numbers here. Gianforte's lead has just grown. He is now up 7.5% with 54% reporting of the precincts in. His lead seems to be growing. Well, I think at this point it's pretty, we're getting, I would think that election experts are probably saying that Gianforte is definitely going to win. Let's see if I can find anything new. Well, I'll show you this tweet. This is from David Beard. David Beard says, there are some largest pockets of Dem votes still outstanding, so Gianforte's margin won't just continue to grow all night. So that's from David Beard. That's what he thinks. We just got a donation on PayPal from Sandra Hawkins for $20. That's really cool. Thank you so much, Sandra. Very nice of you. That'll help us bring you more coverage and stay on the air here at Right Side. If you'd like to donate to us, you can go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate, or you can click on the $ in the YouTube chat room. Click on the $ at the bottom of the chat room to donate. And we are largely viewer supported. We can't stay on the air without your help. So we really appreciate all these donations tonight. It's really kind of you to donate. Really generous of you too. So thank you. Let me check some more updates here. We have a projection. We have a projection from Dave Wasserman, who is with. Sorry, he does. Let me get the exact thing. For the Cook Political Report, and he writes for 538, so he knows a lot about elections. So hold on, I'm going to give you a projection in 1 second. Big moment here. Well, it's not a network projection, but it's a David Wasserman projection. Hold on, let me go back to me. Now. You ready, guys? Big moment here. I think it's a big moment in the coverage tonight. Projection from Dave Wasserman. Greg Gianforte elected to Congress in the Montana special election, defeating Rob Quist. So I was gonna. I didn't know if I should change our headline yet. I'm gonna wait a couple minutes to do that. I'm gonna change the headline for a second. Hold on a second. I'm gonna change it. Hold on while I do this. I'll do this in real time here. You're gonna see an update to the text in a second. Actually, let me see if I can do this real quick. Hang tight, everyone, while I do this. Huh? All right, I'm trying to update the headline here. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Steve did it. Hooray. I just updated that headline there at the bottom to say Gianforte leads. So Dave Wasserman is projecting that Gianforte is going to win this election. And CEO Joe Seals just texted me. CEO Joe Seals. I wonder if I can show this now. CEO Joe Seals says, Steve, I am making the call. RSBN now projects Greg Gianforte the winner. So, all right. So I got to change that headline again. Hold on, folks. So Joe Seals has called it on behalf of Right Side. Oh, and Jack of All Blades just gave $2 and said, salty liberal tears incoming. Thank you, Jack of All Trades, for your donation. Appreciate it. All right, let me update this headline here. I know, Carl Peterson, I still owe you a reading of that transcript. Okay, so we updated the headline there. There you go. And also, Currencia is a new patron. Sorry, not Currencia. Rev Genetics. Rev Genetics is a new patron on patreon.com for RSBN. Thank you, Rev Genetics. Really appreciate your supporting us. Really nice of you, Rev Genetics. And I know you donated before, too. Thanks again to the moderators for moderating tonight. Much appreciated. Appreciate all your hard work. Here is a tweet I want to show you. So, hold on. Let me go back to this for me for a second. Let me get this up here. This is from Ryan Stroik. Ryan Stroik says, Gianforte is outperforming his governor's bid margins by 16 percentage points, and counties completely reporting would be a 12-point win. So Ryan Stroik seems to think that Gianforte is going to win by about 12 points tonight. Let's get back to the vote count, by the way. Well, the vote, as you'll see in a second, we have a bigger lead now. Oops, sorry. Bigger lead for Gianforte. Gianforte now leads by 8.3% with 58% of the precincts reporting. Gianforte now leads by 8.3% and he is projected to win. Carl Peterson, I do promise you before the end of the broadcast, I will read the transcript of the Body Slam event because you had donated and asked for it. Okay, we got some messages here. Jude says, hey, Steve, please do an extra shout out to our RSBN website mods. They are awesome and very much appreciated. Yes. So in addition to the moderators, thank you, Jude. In addition to the moderators doing an amazing job at Right Side on the chat on YouTube, there's also moderators doing an amazing job at our RSBN.TV website chat. There's a whole other chat there. It's constantly updated throughout the day. You just have to go to a recent event. All the events are listed, and you go to the most recent one where there was lots of posts, and you can find the chat room there. So you can go to two different Right Side chats, and that one's not like the YouTube one. The YouTube one, kind of streams and everything's constantly moving. The one on RSBN.TV is more like where everything's up there permanently. So both of the moderators at both of these sites do a great job, and thank you all the moderators out there. Thanks for Jude for reminding me. Okay, let's see here. Trying to get to your messages here and catch up. Yeah, Timothy gave me a heads up about McBride, gave me a heads up about Dave Wasserman's projection too. Thank you, Timothy. We actually just talked about that. American Girl writes in, I find it odd there's only audio of the altercation. 3 Fox News reporters and staff in the room and no one turned on a camera or phone. So, it's a good point, a good question, American Girl. I was thinking that too, but apparently the Fox people, they were setting up an interview. They didn't have the camera pointed over there. And, it all happened very fast. So I'm guessing that when that started happening, people were watching it and didn't have time to turn their camera or open up their phone. So that might have been what happened. Now, look, let me say this. Here's quite an interesting point. I'm going to go full for this. I want to make a point here. Here's my point. If there was video of this, could it have been much worse for Gianforte? Because if it looked like Gianforte like body slammed the guy really hard, maybe that would have really affected the vote. Maybe that could have affected whether he got charged with a felony. Maybe there would have been a much bigger uproar over this. I don't know. Maybe it could have been less. Maybe the video would have shown he did less than people thought. So could have helped, could have hurt him to have no video there. But it's an interesting question. What would have happened if there was video? Okay, back here. Oh, now see, this what happened is something that we were told might happen. We were told there was going to be a big batch of votes coming in from Missoula. Maybe this was that batch of votes. And Missoula is a liberal place in Montana, a liberal area. So the precincts reporting went up to 63% all of a sudden. And Gianforte still has a 5.5% lead, but I wouldn't think that Quist is going to catch up because that was like a big batch of votes they were anticipating coming in. So, and Dave Wasserman, when he makes this projection, accounts for that. So Gianforte is still projected to win in Montana. Okay, let me just see. I think there are a couple more messages here I want to get to. Trying to get to as many messages as possible. Grant says, I heard that he gave him a stone cold stunner. That was from Grant. I think you're talking about Grant, the body slam. America First says, Gianforte should not resign. We need politicians who won't put up with the fake news BS. Cindy Hoffman sent me a link, a photo of President Trump in Cedar Rapids on Facebook. Jeffrey Williams says, is there any way of knowing if the outstanding precincts are Republican or Democrat? So I don't know that, Jeffrey, but people like Dave Wasserman know because they study this stuff and they follow it really closely. And they have so Dave Wasserman has already projected the election to go to Gianforte, and we saw somebody else project around a 12% win they thought for Gianforte. So I'm assuming that suggests that there's mostly Republican votes out now. You can go to the map and kind of look around for yourself if you want, but it seems like there's probably more Republican votes out at this point, given that they're projecting him to win Gianforte. Hold on. I am just looking to see if there's more stuff to give you, more updates to give you here. I like that, Joe, we posted on RSB and that we project Gianforte wins the election. I'll show you this this tweet here. Hold on. Let me go to me for a second. Hold on. I gotta update here. A lot going on here. A lot of things open. Gotta clean up here. So this is a post from Dave Wasserman, who also he projected Gianforte would win, and he says, believe it or not, though, I think the final margin in Montana will bode well for Democrats nationally. So he thinks it won't, there's this question of people will really try to read into this margin, whatever it is, and read in what that bodes for the national election, national elections next November. Now, maybe it's more of a local result, so hard to say, but different. You're going to hear a lot of analysis of this coming up in the next couple days. Okay, we now have new numbers in. You'll see them in a second. 65% are reporting, and Gianforte's lead has gone up slightly. He's up by 5.7% now. Roger Vega gave $5 and says, "Happy birthday, Lynn Jean." First of all, thank you so much, Roger Vega. Very nice of you. Second of all, Lynn Jean, it's your birthday. We didn't know. Lynn Jean, happy birthday to you from Right Side Broadcasting, from all of us here. Hope you had a great birthday. Or actually, maybe it's right now because it's 12:08 a.m. Eastern. So maybe Roger's saying it's the start of Lynn Jean's birthday. So Lynn Jean, if it's the start of your birthday, hope you do have a great birthday. Let's see. Jake Seals writes in, Gianforte should work with Glenn Jacobs, who's running for mayor of Clarksville, Tennessee. He was Kane in WWE, and his finisher was a choke slam. So that is from Jake Seals. Okay, let's catch up here. Again, hello to everybody watching on both Facebook and YouTube tonight. Appreciate you watching and joining us for our coverage. Also, BuzzFeed News is now also calling the election for Gianforte. So there seems to be a consensus that Gianforte is going to win. Let's see here. I got a message from Gerald Keys about some book he wanted me to read, so I'll look at that later. Lynn Jean, JC says, happy birthday, Lynn Jean. Here's donated $5. Salute, sister, Semper Fidelis. We love you, hun. I don't know if I pronounced Semper Fidelis right. Is it like Fidelis? I want to say Semper Fidelis. Again, I'm sorry. I always think of Semper Fi, so I actually don't know if I pronounce it right. My bad. I'll look it up and make sure. I was going to play it here. Oops. Anyways, I'll play it later. Sorry if I mispronounced that, guys. I'll admit when I mispronounce things, or might. Let's see. Some Beach, B-A-C-H writes, most of the same counties carried by Trump are being carried by Gianforte. Gianforte's got this. Okay, so there's 66% in now of the precincts. Gianforte's lead is up to 6.4%. Perhaps it'll keep growing as the more rural counties come in. If you look at the map, actually, let me show you. The counties that aren't in at all look to be like the rural ones. So the ones that aren't in are, I'll show you in a second. We have Roosevelt County, which you'll see coming up in a second, and Dawson County. There's kind of there's a bit of a delay between, so I won't even get into technical issues, so I apologize. But I'm just going around to different counties these are the counties that aren't in at all, but they seem to be all rural counties. So those votes, I mean, maybe there are not a lot of votes out there, but they would presumably come in for Gianforte, most of them. Or at least the majority of them. Okay, so now I don't know if we're necessarily going to stay till it gets to 100%. We'll stay on a little while longer on the air tonight to cover this for you. I hope you've been enjoying our coverage so far here at Right Side Broadcasting. And I also do owe a reading of the transcript. Jacob Seals gave $5. Jacob Seals, who works for Right Side, says, happy birthday, Lynn Jean. And also Steve, under the 19th book, second shelf, page 742 for the secret code. Jake always wants me to find the secret code, but I can never find it. So what I'm going to do now, because I owe it, is Carl Peterson had donated $10 before and said, I want you to read the transcript of the body slam incident. So I'm going to do that now. Just give me 1 second here. Let me find that for you. And you can just look at the nice background behind me while I do this. Okay, we will now, because Carl Peterson donated and asked for it, I'm now going to read through the transcript. So, hold on. Let me get it up there. Ben Jacobs says, the CBO score, because you were waiting to make your decision about health care until you saw the bill just come out Sorry, until you saw. Let me start this again. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out. It's. I have to look 2 places here, so I'm trying to figure out the best place to look for your guys' benefit. Okay, here we go. Ben, the CBO score, because you were waiting to make your decision about healthcare until you saw the bill and it just came out. Gianforte. Yeah, we'll talk to you about that later. Jacobs. Oops. There we go. Jacobs. Yeah, but there's not going to be time. I was just curious. Gianforte. Okay, speak with Shane, please. Gianforte. Then we get loud scuffling noises. Even louder crash. Remember that big crash? Repeated thumping. Then Gianforte says, I'm sick and tired of you guys. Jacob says, Jesus Christ. Let's keep going here. Gianforte. The last guy that came in here, you did the same thing. Get the hell out of here. Jacobs. Jesus. Gianforte. Get the hell out of here. The last guy that did this. Hold on. Jacobs. You'd like me to get the hell out of here. I'd also like to call the police. Can I get your guy? Oh, sorry. I missed a part. Sorry. I had a little bit of an issue here with the stream. Let me go back up in the transcript. All right. Jacobs. Yes. The last guy. Gianforte. Get the hell out of here. The last guy did the same thing. Are you with the Guardian? Jacobs. Yes, and you just broke my glasses. Gianforte. The last guy did the same damn thing. Jacobs. You just body slammed me and broke my glasses. Gianforte. Get the hell out of here. Jacobs. You'd like me to get the hell out of here. I'd also like to call the police. Can I get you guys' names? Let's keep going. Hey, you gotta leave. He just body slammed me. You gotta leave. So that was for you, Carl Peterson. We read the transcript. We promised we'd read it. We read it. The numbers are updated coming up here. We got 68% of the precincts in, and Gianforte is up by 6.3%. Oh, I just got a tweet from my friend Carrie saying, it's generally pronounced fee. All right, there's a whole thing here I got to read on how to pronounce Semper Fidelis or Fidelis or whatever, so I got to look that up later. That's a whole thing to get into. Okay, so we're showing these numbers here. I want to make sure I've caught up with your messages. Ace Solo says, what's the status on the right side White House press pass? So Ace Solo, if we were in DC, I think it's certainly possible that we could get somebody in the press room. But at this point, we're not there. And I don't necessarily think they'd call on us to ask a question. So given that we're such a small company and that would be such a big expense right now, that's not what we're worried about. We're really focused on just bringing you the most coverage we can bring you right now. So it'd be great if we had more money and more people to do all these things. But for now, we got to sort of do the best with what we have. JC says about, JC, the moderator, says, no apology. Tell them I'll do it again in a heartbeat. Zap. So JC and the moderators are zapping everyone who tries to troll the chat room tonight. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, moderators out there. And thank you, rsbn.tv rsbn.tv moderators. Okay, I think I'm about caught up there. All right, so we're at 69% now. It's a 6.3% lead for Gianforte. I think we're going to stay on a few more minutes here. It looks like the race is pretty much kind of callable at this point. Well, we already did call it, and so other people did too. And my worry is that if I waited up till the very end, there'll be these votes coming in at like 5 in the morning, and then I'll be a zombie at work tomorrow, and that's not a good thing for anybody. So I think very soon I'm going to end the stream. But if you have any last comments you want to get in, feel free to write to me at @Lookner on Twitter, @LOOKNER, or email me. Also, let me say, I want to give a big thank you. So many people donated tonight, and that was really nice of you. Your donations will help us stay on the air. They will help us definitely cover President Trump's rally next Thursday. It's at 7 p.m. in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and we will start covering it way before then, earlier in the day. So we'll be interviewing people in line and showing you the sights and sounds. So hope you can join us for the rally. But if you'd like to donate to us, we really do rely on your support to be able to cover events and stay on the air and bring you coverage like this. So, so like our equipment here and everything, it's like it's in our office and all our, our internet costs. It's like we couldn't pay all that without your support, and that you literally enable us to do this for you. So if you'd like to consider donating, you can go to rsbn.tv/donate. That's rsbn.tv/donate. Or you can donate in the chat room on YouTube by clicking the $sign at the bottom of the chat room. Or if you want to get free stuff in return for your donation, you can set up a monthly donation on Patreon, www.patreon.com/rsbn, and you can get free stuff in return for your donation. So that is www.patreon.com/rsbn. Somebody's in the chat room said I should look at CNN. They're having a breakdown. I haven't had it on lately. Let's see. CNN looks like they're interviewing right now Ben Jacobs. Or maybe that was a clip from before. I'm sorry. That was a clip from before. Oh, and CNN, I'll just have you know, our results you're seeing on our screen are more up to date than CNN's. Haha. Are they interviewing Ben Jacobs live? I think they might be interviewing Ben Jacobs live. Yeah, they are. So they're talking about so CNN is literally interviewing Ben Jacobs live. So I'm sure this is very negative coverage towards Gianforte. Not that Ben Jacobs shouldn't be interviewed, but it's CNN. Oh, and it also says the headline on CNN right now is, hold on, let me get that up there for you. It doesn't say Gianforte wins. The headline on CNN says, ready for this? Gianforte's assault charge looms over election. That's the headline right now. Gianforte's assault charge. Well, maybe I can call it up on my iPad. Hold on a second. Wait. Maybe I can show it to you live real quick. Let's see if I can get this going. I'll show you like 5 seconds of it. Here, I'll show you, see? Like I said, it's CNN. The headline is Gianforte's assault charge looms over election. So they're not saying, the headline isn't Gianforte won, it's that his assault charge looms over the election. So there you go, that's what CNN is doing right now. They're still doing it. The headline is still not Gianforte wins. I wonder what MSNBC is doing on their coverage. Let's see. What are they doing? Oh, and MSNBC is covering. You want to see what MSNBC is doing right now? Oh, I just went to commercial, but they're covering Jared Kushner doing an FBI on the FBI probe. That supposedly is looking at Jared Kushner. Which if you actually look at the story, it says they want information that Jared Kushner has, but not that he's suspected of doing anything. Anyways, that's your mainstream media coverage for tonight. So we try to bring you an alternative to the mainstream media, something else for you to watch when you watch these events at Right Side Broadcasting. We just try to report the facts here. Okay, I think very soon. Lynn Jean just gave $50. Wow, and says, blessed to be an American and to stand with great patriots in the RSBN family. To God be the glory, MAGA. That's really nice of you, Lynn Jean. You gave us a present on your birthday. It's your birthday day. Happy birthday, Lynn Jean. She just donated $50. That's really cool of you. So cool. We got to meet Lynn Jean at a rally, the rally in Harrisburg. That was really nice. Again, if you're going to be at the Iowa rally, come and say hi to us so we can talk to you and say hi and maybe even interview you if you want on the air. Don't be shy. Okay. Oh, this is an interesting tweet, which I'll show you. Hold on a second. I think this is an interesting tweet. I can call it up here. Very. The whole tweet is quite interesting. I think it's an interesting tweet. Hold on. So look at Paul Kane's tweet on the bottom first. Paul Kane says, if results stay on this arc, wake up call for Democrats and activists to recruit serious, sober, quality candidates, not quirky personalities. So remember, Quist, who's losing tonight, he's like a country singer. He had these big debt issues in his past, his personal debt issues. Now he had some response to debt issues. He said it was caused by like a health problem he had. But, he wasn't like a seasoned politician. Maybe some people didn't think he was a really serious candidate. Also, Casey Hunt says this will be the main ball game and main challenge. This will be the ball game and main challenge of 2018. Not all unexpected candidates are secretly like Bernie Sanders. So Bernie Sanders was someone who was very unconventional and he did quite well. But if the Democrats run people who are kind of quirky and unconventional, that doesn't mean they're going to get Bernie Sanders style results in these races. So I thought that was an interesting couple tweets. Oh, we have some new votes in. You'll see them in a second. 72% reporting. Greg Gianforte is up now by 6.5%. We'll see how much this grows over time, this lead. But I do not think I will be on until the end. I will tell you that, sadly. Now, Timothy McBride says, but Lookner, you think it was okay for Gianforte to assault a reporter? Huh? Not funny. Why do people keep saying this? So 2 of you have now said, one person wrote in before and said, I condoned, or what did he say? I was mocking the reporter, Ben Jacobs. And another person says, so Timothy McBride, who sent me a lot of helpful messages tonight, says, I think it was okay for Gianforte to assault a reporter. When did I say that was okay? I literally 20 minutes ago said I disapproved of it. So I don't know why people keep saying that I am approving of this assault and that I support the assault. I have explicitly on this broadcast several times said I disapprove of the assault on the reporter. I have made that very clear. So I don't know. I apologize if you're getting upset, but it seems like some people out there are getting upset at something I never said. So Timothy, I never said that. I explicitly said the opposite of that. And my point about CNN was not that they're talking to Ben Jacobs. I literally said it's reasonable for them to interview Ben Jacobs. My point is, it wouldn't surprise me if CNN doesn't put up a Gianforte wins thing and just puts up they try to spin everything as negatively as they can towards the GOP, and they don't put up Gianforte wins. They put up a big headline that says Gianforte violence or whatever looms over election. And it's just like, so I'm guessing if their tone is like it usually is, it's probably biased against the Republicans. That's the point I was making. Jerry Mizak says, maybe 20% of the people care what CNN and MSNBC is airing. 80% of us do not give a rip. That's from Jerry Mizak. Thank you, Jerry, for writing in. And I'm sorry if I got upset. I hate being accused of approving of violence. And I don't think anything I said came close to doing that. And I explicitly said I disapprove of it on the show. So that's why I got upset. Oops, sorry about that. Somebody just made a donation. I missed it. Jack of all blades gave $2 and said, these are liberal trolls baiting you, ignore them. So I don't know if this is a liberal person who wrote in. Timothy McBride. He wrote me some other messages before that weren't critical or anything. And I appreciate his messages. So, but thank you, Jack of all blades, for your donation. Much appreciated. Okay, I have a tweet I want to show you. Little analysis from Dave Wasserman. Appreciate Dave Wasserman tweeting tonight because we've been able to show you some of his analysis, which I think is good analysis. Why does he keep doing that? I got to fix that issue. See, it disappears. Let's see. Oh, I know why it's doing that. I'm sorry. Bottom line, given the absentee results, it was never going to be realistic for Quist to erase his deficit on election day. So Wasserman thinks that he really, even with the body slam, he never had a chance. Although, is it really possible that he can never erase his deficit? Couldn't we imagine that Gianforte did something really, really, really even much worse last night, and that none of his voters would have voted for him today, or a very small percentage would? I don't know. But I understand your point, Dave Wasserman. We just got a donation of $5 on PayPal from Cranston Bondslim. Thank you, Cranston Bondslim. That's very nice of you to give us $5 on PayPal. We really appreciate it. 75% reporting. Gianforte's lead is growing again. He's up 7.1%. 75% of the precincts are reporting now. Okay. So I think in just a couple of minutes now, I'm going to end the stream. I really need to get some sleep so I can get some. So I can get up for tomorrow and get to work and not be a zombie at work. What if I have to go on live, and I definitely have to do work tomorrow, and so I don't want to hurt Right Side by being a zombie at work. So we're going to start wrapping up here. I hope that you've all enjoyed the coverage tonight. It's been fun, very fun bringing it to you and doing it with you. I appreciate all of your comments and all of your feedback everybody sent in, helping us cover the news here. I would encourage you, if you like our coverage here, to subscribe to Right Side on YouTube. Hit the notifications bell when you do, so you can get all the videos, get notified of all our videos, and follow us on Twitter at RSB Network. I am at Lookner on Twitter, at Lookner. And also like and follow us on Facebook. And also share our videos when you get a chance on Facebook. That would be awesome. Thank you. Special hello to everybody on Facebook watching tonight, as well as YouTube. Thank you to moderators, both in the chat room on YouTube and in RSBN.TV for doing a great job. I know there's a lot of activity tonight, so really appreciate all your hard work. Thank you to Jake Seals for his producing and helping me to fix the initial issues that I had going on here. He was a big help. Thank you to Joe for creating Right Side. Thank you to everybody who donated tonight. That's really nice of you. If you have any last donations you'd like to give, you know the drill, rsbn.tv/donate, or you can donate in the chat room on YouTube. Click the bottom of the chat room, click the $sign. And I will say this, I am willing. I know a lot of you like hearing the audio of the body slam. Now, I don't approve of violence, but I do think it's like kind of crazy audio. So while I don't approve of the body slam, I do think it's kind of very fascinating audio to hear, because it's like, when do you hear that kind of thing and hear the reactions from people? So if before we go off the air, I am willing to play that audio one more time if we get a couple more donations in. So if you want to donate and if you want to hear the audio one more time, now is the time to make your view known, because I am willing to play it one more time. But I try to help out Right Side. Oh, and you'll see on your screen right now, the New York Times has just projected Gianforte to win. There it is. It's on your screen. See, they put a red check mark next to Gianforte. So the New York Times. Well, I feel like that's a nice ending for our broadcast. Is we were watching the New York Times their vote total, and we got to see them project the winner. That's very exciting. So I'm waiting on for a second to see if anybody wants to hear the video one more time. I'll give it a second. And let's see. And again, you now have the official projection from the New York Times that Greg Gianforte will win and be in Congress. It's interesting. So imagine if you're in Congress and you meet Greg Gianforte, and it's like, that guy like body slammed somebody. It's kind of crazy. And then maybe you don't want to get like in an argument with him because you think he might get violent and body slam you. I don't know. All right. Well, I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. And I see a lot of messages, but it doesn't seem like people necessarily want to hear the video again of the body slam video. So I'll give it another minute more. I'm going to give a special shout out to the mods that I see now. Miss John Johnson in the chat room. JC. Oh, also I should check real quick the Facebook event thing. Oh, Carl Peterson says, everyone knows RSBN is simply the best. Go share with the rest. That's from Carl, $5 donation. Thank you, Carl. And John PS30 says, give it to me one more time and donates $5. Okay, thank you, Carl and John. I will play the video one more time for you. By the way, a quick hello to the people on Facebook watching. I see the chat room, Teresa and Tanya and Sandy and Judy. I see your posts out there. Is there a way I can expand the chat room on Facebook? Let me click really quick. Let me see. Oh, and Jason Thornton donated $2. Said body slam, please. Okay, we will do it, Jason, in a second. Hold on 1 second here. What happens when I do that? Oops. Didn't want to do that. Facebook people, I'm trying to see the full chat and I'm having a little bit of difficulty doing that, so I apologize. So I can say thanks to some of you. It's so odd. Anyways. Jake, you'll have to tell me, Jake, how do I see the full chat in Facebook? Because I can only see the last 4 comments. Let's see. Okay, I want to give some more thank yous out. I know we're going to play that video again. So thank you. Chris R. moderating. Thank you so much. And the other, Webster was in the chat room tonight moderating. Thank you. Lynn Jean was there. Jude. Just keeping an eye on things. Mrs. John Johnson. JC. All the mods doing great work tonight. And I'll say goodbye to some other folks later. Okay, let me play this video one more time for you. And hold on a second. Oh, Tanya and Judy in Facebook want me to play the video again too. So I got a bunch of requests to play this video. So I'm going to play this video, this audio, sorry, the video. Play the audio clip one more time. Give me a second to set this up here. Hold on 1 sec. I'm going to set this up. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. I'm going to play it. Hold on 1 second.
Into the CBO score, because you know you were waiting to make your decision about healthcare until you saw the bill and it just came out. And what you
and
thought
we'll
about
talk to you about that later.
Yeah, but there's not going to be time. I'm just curious if you have
Okay,
the
speak
right
with
now.
Shane, please.
But you don't.
Sick and tired of you guys. The last time that came in here, you did the same thing. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. The last guy did the same thing. You were the guardian.
Yes, and you just broke my glasses.
You, the last guy did the same damn thing.
You just body slammed me and broke my glasses.
Get the hell out of here.
You'd like me to get the hell out of here, I'd also like to call the police. Can I get you guys' names?
Hey, you gotta leave.
He just body slammed me.
Wow, that's quite a scene there. That was quite a scene. So also and Jude, my RSBN moderator, just gave $5. Thank you so much, Jude, and said, please remind everyone that Nick will be on Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. So if that's indeed the right time, if that's indeed the right time, I trust you, Jude, on this. 4 p.m. Eastern. I know Nick's supposed to come back next week, so somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but for now, let's say Nick Fuentes will be on at 4 p.m. Eastern. I think that is right, because Jake was mentioning something about that. So thank you, Jude, for letting me know that, and to remind you, Nick Fuentes, America First, coming back next week, every weekday, I believe, at 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Jude, for the donation, too. All right, so I heard that I have to click this video. Jake says you have to click the Facebook video to watch at 4 p.m. Eastern to see the whole chat. Thank you, Jude, for the donation. Oh, no, now you're going to hear double. I'm sorry. I heard that I have to click this video. Sorry. I see it here. Sorry for the you'll hear a bit of a loop here. So I just want to say a quick thank you to Tanya and Carol and Judy and Julie and Teresa and Sandy and everybody else who's watching this on our right side. Richard, Bill, Dallas, and on Facebook, Christopher. Thank you guys for watching on Facebook. Let me just make sure you're not getting audio there. Good. And I want to say a quick goodbye to people on YouTube watching in the chat room. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, if anyone wants to say goodbye or good night, now is your chance. I'm checking out the chat room. Thank you again to all the moderators there. Appreciate all your hard work tonight. Thank you for everybody for watching. And all the mods and Rev Genetics and Joseph and everybody out there. The chat is a little delayed, which is why I'm waiting for a second. Thank you, Rocky Mike. Demon, sorry. I got to catch up here. Demon Z says he'll be donating. Thank you, Demon Z. Thank you, Coast Days. Thank you, You Got Mail. See you later. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up here. Thank Dicka's Bears 2, and thanks to all the donators, as Dicka's Bears 2 says. By Ket King, by Veronica Gallo, by Angela Ray, by Peace Cell, by Mrs. John Johnson, by Jason Thornton. Yes, Jason, you got your late night with Lookner tonight. By Juliet, by Eli, by New York Cookie. By Bob's Your Uncle, by John PS30. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Sorry, let me make this a little bit bigger so I can see all of you. Gotta catch up. Bye, James. Sorry, New York Cookie. Here we go. John PS30. Bye, Soup Sandwich. By Jonas, by Chris Douglas, by Lynn Jean, by Edwin Newman, by Ket King, by James Getz, by Steve, other Steve, by Planet X, by Agent 320. Joseph Nick says, well, I think that's directed to people. Joseph Nick, it sounds like you think people here were mocking the reporter. I leave the chat to the chat people. I was not mocking the reporter. And I did not condone violence. I spoke out against it, but I'm going to leave the chat. What happens in the chat is not my business. So I'll let you, Joseph, take that up with people in the chat. Aaron saying thank you. Juliet, thank you. Have a good night. Let's see. Space Ghost, yes, getting off the air now. Harold and Allison, have a good one. Jerry Hansen, thank you. Dicka's Bears, Trump rallies in Iowa. We'll see you next week there. Stephanie Stormspotter and First Responder, thank you so much. Thank you, Don Dameron. Thank you, You Got Mail. Joe says I should host the show late night with Lookner. Yeah. Then you're gonna then the next it was Jason Thornton who came up with the Joe, but then the next day is gonna be Zombie at Work with Lookner. Veronica Gallo, thank you. Soup Sandwich, I said goodbye to you already. CH, have a great night. Lenny O, have a good one. Fit to be Tied, have a great night. You're welcome. Teachable Woman, thanks for your donation before. Thank you. Frederick Email, have a good one. Thanks, Carl Peterson, for your donations. Thanks, 2K. Who else did I miss here? Sorry, just catching up. Thank you too. Oh, still catching up. Let me blow this up even bigger. Sorry, I need to make the chat even bigger. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I almost messed something up there. Yeah, I think you almost saw the lines get crazy on the ticker. Sorry, I was trying something and I didn't mean to mess up the ticker. I can fix that. Okay, the ticker looks good again. I hope the ticker's okay now. Sorry. That's better. Now I can see your names. By Sandy Warner Burke. By Marjorie Schultz. By Rev Genetics, thank you. By Patricia W. By Tom. By Coast Days. By Rodney Shank. By Santa Barbara Homestead. By Reject Society. By Juliet. By Susan O. By Randall German, thank you. By Marjorie. By C. Catlet. C. Catlet. By Jonas. By Raymond Matthews. By Rose Starbright. Rose Starbright. By R3D3. By Joseph Nick, thank you. By Currencia, thank you for your donations, Currencia. Very generous of you. Thank you, Loose Goose. By Soup Sandwich. By Brett Slaughter. By Very Fake News. By Magme. By Ash Vegas. By Jason Thornton. By Post Slam Last. By Munchies. By Steve. By Jerry. Almost caught up here. By Dylan Duenez. By Rachel Barringer. By Tom O'Neill. By Centipede. By Loose Goose. By, let's see who else is here. By Air Museum. By M. Finn. By Munchies the Sock Monkey. Alright, I think I'm about caught up. By Brian Brody. Sorry if I missed anybody there. I tried to get everybody. All right, so that's going to be it for tonight. Again, Gianforte wins. He's up by about 7.5% now. He wins. Hope you've enjoyed us. Hope you enjoyed our coverage. We will have the Trump rally for you next week, President Trump's rally on June 1st. So mark that off on your calendars. We'll have election coverage like this for the Georgia special election, which I think is June 20th. So we'll do that as well. Thank you, everyone else out there who I said thank you to again. It's been fun. It's been real. I got to get some sleep. So thanks for watching Right Side. From all of us at Right Side, have a great night. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow for some news coverage. But keep watching Right Side, I hope. And thank you for joining us. Have a good one.